Just getting US PPI coming through 3.2% here. Looks like forecast was 3.3%. So a slight downtick there. Again, 3.2 versus 3.3%. A little late populating on this screen, but I'll show you when it comes in. 220,000 there for the initial jobless claims on the week over week number. There it is. Negative 0.1 there for the core number month over month for February. Month over month dead flat versus a positive 0.3 reading that was expected there. Again, initial jobless claims 220 versus 230, 1.87 continuing claims. Nice downtick there. 1.91 million was the expected number for continuing jobless claims. That's the overall PPI reading there for February, 147.9. 148.1 was expected year over year. 3.2 versus 3.4, so a slight downtick once again. For PPI, following suit with what we saw yesterday for CPI, let's have a look with the overall market. We'll touch on Adobe here coming up. Not much of a reaction there for Adobe back to the upside. The market's a little bit of an uptick. 0.17, still red, but I mean, chopping around here after what happened yesterday. Initial sell-off, but we do get that recovery throughout the afternoon.
Yeah, lots to talk about today, Brendo. A lot in focus. Intel, finally a new CEO. So no longer the co-CEO situation. So Lip-Bu going to be taken over from there, so we'll have to see exactly how that all works out. Up nicely already, 11.5% here in the pre-market. We'll talk about that. Palantir, obviously in focus. Their AIP conference starts today. We'll be covering that for you on the show, obviously. And lots more to talk about in terms of earnings, UiPath reporting, as well as American Eagle. So a whole list today.
Yeah, I mean, that Palantir event, who knows? Not doing anything right now, but well, yeah, we'll keep an eye out. Intel, as you mentioned, it's starting to actually tick back to the upside here, trying to hold $23. That was a bit of a consolidation throughout the aftermarket and this morning as well, but we'll see if we can't get going a little bit more. Finally, guys, finally, CEO for Intel. Good morning.
Hey, morning, everybody. Hey, what's up, Joe? Make sure we're not muted there. We just realized you're not in the chat. Oh, I got to fix this mic here. Oh, gosh. Yeah, so another good little number there on the PPI. So we'll see the market head to the upside. And we talked about this trade from yesterday was you make those highs and then you just get faded right back in again. So now we're going to have to wait to see what winds up happening here for today, maybe using that as the high. We almost got up to yesterday's high on that number. Joe, 19.6, touched it, then fell down 50 handles. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening right there. Intel on the nice way up too. As Sharif just mentioned there, we finally get that new CEO. Adair and I were covering that on the after hours, and it just popped like crazy. And Obi was here like, oh boy, because he traded Intel all day. He only traded Intel, I think, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He might have had one other name in there. Yeah. So definitely, yeah, and he had NVIDIA yesterday. So definitely on watch here today. Intel up 12%. So we're excited for that one.
Patty Gelsinger out the door. So
yeah, he's been out the door for a minute there for 6 months or so, but they've been waiting for this new CEO. Lip-Bu Tang, former executive there, now back on the board, and former board member, now taking the helm there at CEO, and apparently a little bit of a different vision than Pat. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening with that name. But we're excited for it. I'm excited to trade the futures. I mean, I think that's going to be awesome. We'll talk some options. It's Palantir Day. There's Archer Aviation and Palantir just threw down some sort of a partnership. So let me just see what exactly is happening. 83, a little disappointing here for Palantir being down on the day, but there's that bump there as I feel like we're going to get more and more of this, right? So AIPCon is on right now, and we'll figure out more deals, more announcements. What does Palantir have up their sleeves? Down today against the NASDAQ is not great, but there it goes. Look at this thing starting to go right now as this market tries to get back up to that 19.6. So, hey, should be a great day. I tweeted out if there was anybody looking for any trade ideas, what were some of their ideas. So I ask you, is there any names on your mind?
Well, yeah, I ran my scans earlier this morning, guys, and INTC is at the top of the list without any question. We have a lot of volume this morning, so Obi would like to say, yeah, we got a lot of relative volume. So we're trading with about 6 million shares this morning. So that's going to be the #1 trade idea for me. Are we going to fade it, or are we going to try to continue in this long? Only price action will tell us that, but we're going to be patient. PPI coming in as well, too. It looks like the market wants to rally here, guys, so we're going to look for that continuation within this strength. And, yeah, just be really patient on these setups, and hopefully INTC and Intel can get the ball rolling here, guys.
I was just keeping my eye on a couple of things here. U.S. dollar, one of those. Same story as yesterday. If you remember when we got CPI, initial move was downside. That was the candle, I think, right there. Initial move downside, and then we get the retracement, ends the day back to the highs. Same thing happening here, not to the same scale, but same thing, reversal candle underway. The 10-year doing the same thing I just noticed. Initial move was downside. There we are. Already green once again for the 10-year, 4.33 to start things off this morning. Yeah, I was just reading that note Sean mentioned there for Palantir and Archer Aviations teaming up on the manufacturing side. So they're going to use Palantir's Foundry and AIP for scaling manufacturing of their aircrafts. That's that, what's it called, eVTOL company. They're going to fly some drones around New York.
It makes sense, Brendo, that these two companies would team up. We were talking about possible accidents in the air and autonomous delivery as well. And a lot of these paths that are going to be used by these eVTOLs are going to be fixed. For example, the one in Dubai that's already being used right now takes you from downtown Dubai to the airport. Apparently, it's about like an hour-and-a-half drive in traffic. That gets cut down 10 minutes. So all these are pre-programmed. Do you think that probably involves some AI?
For sure. It'll end up being, I mean, airplanes operate in the same sense. There's different paths and routes that they all have to stick to and take. It'll just be at a different elevation, I guess, or height. Adobe, meanwhile, just made a new low, I saw, or heard anyways in my ear. Yeah, there it is, 410, 412. It's back above 412 right now, 6% though. For Adobe, there's a few more analyst moves just coming through. One was from Bank of America there. Maintaining a buy, but lowering the price target seems to be the consensus this morning coming off that earnings report. Analysts anyways leaning on the price target a little bit, but maintaining their overall rating.
And they did okay here, Brendo. Let's talk about how they did. EPS exceeded 508. The street was looking for 497. So that was a lot better than they did a year ago as well. They printed 448. That's 4 consecutive quarters in a row where they beat EPS. Now the guide is where it gets a little bit dicey here. They reported revenue of $5.71 billion. Sorry, that's for the current quarter on revenue. They also beat estimates there, but this is where it gets light. So next quarter EPS, 497 on 5.79 billion in revenue. That was not what the street was looking for, as well as the full year fiscal projections of EPS of 20.39 on revenue of 23.45. Also missing expectations.
So much competition now. Yeah, so a tough business. I mean, we still use Adobe products around here a lot, but there's a lot of competition for them. For anyone just joining that missed that PPI print at 8:30, there was a slight uptick. So they were forecasting 3.3%, comes in a little bit lower at 3.2%. That was still higher from the last print that we got, but not as high as expected. So 0.1 versus 0.3. on the month over month. So that was the pop there in the overall market. But coming back in here a little bit already, guys.
Actually, so I have here minus 0.1 versus plus 0.03. So it's actually a decent little level there. And I think the playbook's going to be the same. You know, we saw yesterday, let's just call it the TQQs because we'll be looking at that. And I was saying this to Joe earlier. It's like this is now just given, hopefully, Powell and his crew there a little bit more power to maybe cut the rate, right? What they're looking to do maybe as the summer gets here, we'll look to see, we got a nice CPI number. And this started us yesterday. CPI only was down by 0.1. This is 0.4. Like you get minus 0.1 versus up 0.3 month over month, as Brendan was, this is just the estimate, was mentioning there. So they're expected to get 0.3 and they get minus 0.1. Yesterday on the CPI, similar result. We get all the way to the upside right there. Huge pop early, only for the market to basically crush that level all the way down in and come right back into the close of Tuesday. So that level held, then we got all the way back up, and then as you can see here, that was the top of CPI. We got there around 9:30, and then everyone said, nah, that we're still selling this market. Forget about the CPI. Then we had that nice move down. Then we had more tariff talk. We had back and forth as we always do, and then at 11 o'clock, we made another, run to the highs again, and this time we kind of got a little bit away from that level, that's 19.6, and then all of a sudden, into the close, we did a little bit of a dip one more time there, Joe. So it's like it was a pretty roller coaster day yesterday. Too many ups and downs for me in the afternoon where it looked like we were going and we weren't. Then it looked like we were getting down and we weren't. So right now, I think it's very, very similar. There's the pop here that we just got in PPI. There's the pop we got in CPI. Obviously a little more dramatic yesterday as we care more about the consumer than the production, right, side of things. So we'll have to wait to see if that remains the new high for today. So I think we'll try to fade off of 61 there, being the high, and that also corresponds with 19.6. So yesterday, Obi and I were looking at that 19.5 level. Looks like the market's already coming back in, absorbing this number. It's the 200 period moving average. For me, I honestly still think that the playbook is short.
Yep.
And until that changes, then like I think Bitcoin. You and I were just talking about that, holding at 83,000.
Yeah.
Like that's interesting too, right? I mean, the Nasdaq has had its 10% correction. You know, is it the bottom now? I'm looking for good tariff news to change this around. And if we get that, then I think the market can pop 3, 4, 5%. Not in one day, but I think, we could have a 3 or 4% week next week to the plus side. Give us a couple good days and we can see what happens. I just think there's a lot of money on the sidelines right now looking for a little bit of clarity. Now we're getting that clarity from an economic side of things. Yep. So we know that hopefully the Fed will have our back if anything goes really wrong there. Remember, Joel, if this gets real nasty, the Fed can just come in. What's up, Ramin? The Fed can just come in and save the day by lowering interest rates.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that, and I said, would it be a dovish or a hawkish type cut? And Sean said, hey, well, I think it'd be more along the lines of dovish. But just to speak of the cues, I agree with them. But what we see here is that we're starting to move a little bit sideways here, guys, in the overall market. And that's what we want to see. If we're going to do a pullback, we want to see the market take a breath, a little bit of a consolidation, and then we can hopefully recover, like Sean said, about 3 to 5%. So if we continue in this eastward type price action, then I think that's going to give a little bit more conviction. One thing that has me concerned as well, too, though, guys, is if this is a breath and we continue to move sideways, hopefully this isn't an additional leg possibly to the downside, okay? So this is what we really want to monitor here. So now we've been trading within this range for the better part of 3 days here, guys. Let's see if we can either break through 480. As you can see, we've rejected it multiple times. And then we can maybe get that 2 to 3% correction, pull back to the top side, or it's just another breath that might lead us a little bit more to the downside here in the queue. So I'm hoping for the first one here, not the latter half, guys. Hopefully we get a little bit of a rebound here.
Thing is, they not like us, man.
They're not like us.
They definitely not like us.
They are not like us.
Right? They are not like us.
They're not like us.
All right, but the CPI is definitely not like the PPI. So we'll wait to see what kind of weighting this holds here in the market. We normally have Luis Barbado coming through on a day like today, but I'm not sure he'll be coming in there. We did have Quantum QBTS D-Wave reported earlier today. Looks like we'll see. I'm surprised how flat it is right now. We'll wait to see what winds up happening with QBTS coming through. It looks like we're getting into a good level here as well. If we can break above this 650 area, then I think that would be a good trade opportunity as well for QBTS. Again, a lot of these names pretty choppy back in these areas. We had SMR yesterday. 2 days ago, SMR was up 10%, and then yesterday we fell back in again. So this is another one where we have to wait to see what's going on in some of these nuclear spaces. We did have nuclear energy starting to go back up to the upside. We keep on watching the different URA, ETF, and whatnot, but this has been honestly pretty bad move too, all the way back into the downside. We're underneath the 200 period, I believe, or right at it right now. So this is going to be another area to look at. And you know what else I was thinking, Joe? Do you ever do any online sports gambling or gambling at all?
I was a pro line guy back then.
Right. Yeah. I used to go with my grandfather all the time to, like when we were young. I was probably 11 or 12, like unable to bet myself. So we'd sleep over, me and my brother sleep over at my grandparents' house, and it would be a Saturday night. So we'd always watch the Leafs or something like that. So what we would do is, and it was really fun. And so Proline, you used, this is before internet and everything. Right? Yeah. I'm talking about like 30 years ago. Okay, so you'd have to go to the store to your paper, like open up the Toronto Star or whatever, right? Your daily paper, get the list of games.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, and then you'd go there and you start circling which ones you like.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then so we would do that like every 3 or 4 p.m., whatever. We'd get our games going. And then we'd hop in the car. We'd go down to the convenience store, get those little slips, fill them out.
Max Milk, that's where we
and then after the end of the first period, you already lost, and and then you'd spend the rest of your night.
Well, that's what we would do on Sundays, right? We would go there, make pools, our props, and
that was
everything
the best,
along those lines, right? Exactly, and that's what we did. At the minute we turned 18, and we're able to do so every weekend we were there.
So the wife and I, that used to be because she used to do it too with me, because we'd sit and watch some before kids, or sit and watch some football. I like football. I mean, football is a great sport to watch. I mean, I really enjoy it, played it and everything like that. But it's a little bit different when you got some skin in the game.
Yeah. That's it, right? It's a little more exhilarating.
Yeah. That's why we do fantasy football. Right? I can't normally watch a Cleveland Brown Pittsburgh Steeler game. I mean, it's a great rivalry.
There's no way.
For example, maybe I shouldn't use this as an example, but if I had players, right? I had the running back. We got a little DK Metcalf.
Over 30 yards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the daily. Okay, so. What I was getting at, we do have Luis Barbato. Okay, I don't want to wait for too long. But just quickly, this is another name that I was getting interested in, potentially. So the last equity, although last week I said I'm not buying any more equities, the last one I bought was JP Morgan a couple days ago. I'm wondering here, I'm just talking about for more of a swing trade here, that maybe we've bottomed out a little bit if the market does retrace. I do like DraftKings. I mean, this weekend is the Players right now, and I know there's a lot of gambling on golf, and it just seems like there's a lot of advertising here. Cost of acquisition seems to be going down a little bit for these guys, so I like DraftKings. I also like Flutter. That's FanDuel. A couple different names into there. I think these are great plays, and no matter how the economy is going, honestly, people are still gambling. And they might even gamble harder if the economy goes down.
I agree
people
with that.
People get frustrated trying to make that money.
We got Penn too, I believe.
Penn's not bad. They're more of a casino play there. They anyways, I don't know. Gambling is, I'm doing it for fun, and I'm not trying to say that everyone should step in there and start hammering all these parlays. But at the end of the day, I think DraftKings is a decent opportunity here to bounce a little bit. So anyways, I like DKNG. All right, without any further ado, though, the man with the best beard in the business is waiting. Just don't tell that to Michael Noss.
Michael Noss is a close second. As mentioned, Luis Barbato joining us from Barcelona, Spain this morning to touch on what's been a pretty exciting week already, Luis, as far as some small caps and movers are concerned. Wanted to touch on the simple fact that in an environment that we're in right now with macro headlines, for lack of a better term, just to cover everything at this point, stealing the spotlight and overall market moves, the main focus here. This is actually one area of the market that won't typically care about what the overall market is doing, and you can trust, or not necessarily trust, but you can go with the movement.
Yeah, you're right. I used to tell you that this small cap world, it really doesn't matter if we have earnings season or not. But we have to admit that this couple of weeks, a lot of money moved to the blue chips, to the big companies, to the ETFs index, and so on. So it is true the small cap market has been more quiet for the last couple of weeks. It is absolutely temporary. We start seeing some runners, like yesterday we had already a couple of them, but a lot of money moved to this market, and we made an exception, at least me, and I have been trading the blue chips for 3 or 4 or 5 days because the money was there, the volatility, the level 2 moving a lot. So yeah, it's true.
From a bigger perspective as well, a lot of people talk about the simple fact that when the market shifts and we're not just going up and up and up and up day after day after day, small caps are typically the first thing that gets sold. So how much do you look at the overall market direction and attribute that to the simple fact that, we're not seeing as many high-flying, crazy runners anymore?
It's not that much about how if it's going up or down. It's more about where the money comes, and a lot of money is going to the big caps, to the blue chips like Nvidia, Teslas, and of course index, because it seems to be a good opportunity for midterm swing trades and so on. So it's not that much about if the market's going up or down, but more about the volume. Where is the volume coming?
All right, a few moving around here so far this morning. Great chart, by the way. CRVO, top of the list right here this morning. Just took out the highs. I keep getting alerts in my ear here. 34% already. Speaking of ones that moved yesterday, here's a day 2 runner for CRVO.
Yeah, that's, as you say, top of the list, and probably almost the only stock really worth to trade for a small cap today. It was very volatile yesterday. We saw a lot of volume, a lot of rotation float yesterday. The stock is a 5 million float, biotech, and is a phase 2 clinical study, so it's very important news for a stock. It rotate float yesterday, I don't know, a lot of times. I already lost the numbers, but today is already rotating almost 5 times the whole float. We have seen a gap fill on $8, and let's see. For me, it's gonna be very interesting how it reacts to this $8 price, and when the bell rings just after the open, how it behaves. If the volume keeps coming in and pushing, we might see a second running day. Don't go front side on this one. It's very, very dangerous. But if after the opening we see some volume, losing volume and losing interest in the stock, we might see the first red day. Losing the $8 and going to the gap fill, 7.50 and 7 afterward.
We'll keep an eye on that one. HMR also standing out here so far this morning. This one's already given up, it would appear, as far as volume anyways.
HMR, you say? I didn't check this one.
This one is Heidmar Maritime.
Okay.
Looks like a shipping company, 280.
We haven't seen this one. It's coming from $9, so it's very kind of a new stock in the market. So we're gonna be a little bit more cautious with this one. Only if it drips above $340, $350, we will look for long on this one. We are looking on 3 penny stocks. We have plenty of sub-dollar stocks today, actually, and probably the most interested is WCT, which is higher volume, 7 million volumes already, and is moving up around 30% today.
That's an interesting looking chart as well. That one's absolutely collapsed.
It's the liquidation play probably yesterday or the day before, and we might see some pops today.
Just to jump back to that HMR real quick, I just noticed up here, be cautious, I think, everyone. 300, it's tough to see, but 328,000 share float.
Yeah, and it's a Greek company, a shipping company, so very, very dangerous, this one.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, you mentioned blue chips the past couple of days. Big one, big one up today. Intel, are you looking at that?
We keep the focus on Tesla, NVIDIA, and the index ETF. We trade the Qs mainly, but Intel today is gapping up a little bit. We might try for longs until $25 round number. We have our resistance there. We try to buy some dips on this one on the uptrend.
Great stuff. What are you looking at for? You mentioned Tesla there. Crazy one past couple of days.
Yeah, for the last 2-3 days, we're looking for this capitulation day, when I think was a $220 break until 218, we saw this capitulation, a lot of volume breaking all the support and all the areas where the buyers had the stops. And after this 220 support, we have been seeing buyers coming in. So same as in NVIDIA, we try to buy the dips and try to look for this 250 on Tesla break for longer movement to $280, $300.
Great stuff, Luis. Best of luck on what should be another pretty exciting day here. Looking to be shaping up that way anyways. Good to see you as always.
Thank you very much, and thank you to Sean because of the best beer in the business.
Yeah, hey, no problem. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that was true. But yeah, thanks, Luis. And look, it's interesting to have Luis come on there talking about some small cap names, some possible runners, and then also looking at a name like NVIDIA. I mean, it just goes to show you that no matter what your style is, and you and I actually were talking about this before Luis mentioned it, you got to trade where the action is. Speak about action, we have Action Jackson over here.
I was just about to say Action Jackson.
Here we go.
With the big ones there. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Some nice, get that vitamin C going on. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. How am I supposed to peel it? Just like, all right, we'll figure it out. Yeah, how's it going? How was the drive in today? I think it was pretty good, right? Yeah. It was awesome. Isn't it great when there's March break? Like, you don't get the kids, you don't get the teachers.
Oh, I love it. I was here an hour.
On vacation. Like, so many of my friends going to Whistler, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, man, I need a vacation, Neil's chilling out.
Obi's in Miami.
Obi's chilling in Miami.
Got back from Jamaica.
This guy's in Barcelona over there.
Wow.
Yeah, but you were
Shut up, Joe.
you went away last summer, didn't you?
Joe, come on, man. That was a while ago. You know, I went to
AAPL?
London, England, and I only spent 5 days there because I cut it short because I had to come back and coach. You know?
Wow.
Kids are killing me. So Rainey, if you were to go, let's just say, I know you have things going on. I don't think you have any vacations planned soon, but let's just say you could go, you and the wife, you could go to one destination, no kids, no nothing. I know you do have an affinity for London, but what would be your one sort of spot that would hit the spot?
Yeah,
This time of year?
Yeah, like if I could say right now, you have a one-way ticket, a return ticket, you come back anywhere you go, anything you want to do, man, like whatever.
Southern Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have my stream deck up. All right, I'm down with that. She'll get some good food.
Oh,
a
yeah.
nice beach.
Warm weather.
The nice weather. Croatia, hop over
Stock went
there.
up there.
Yeah. I need some warm. London's not warm this time.
No.
It's-
I just meant London's
no.
good music scene, like good.
Yeah,
food there,
but
too.
and go in the summer. No,
Yeah.
Southern Italy would be Rome, Sicily.
Okay. So you're gonna go
Take me
across
now.
the pond there. You don't want any Southern Asia, nothing along those lines.
No, yeah, I
Caribbean,
need to go explore Italy.
Gulf of America.
Oh yeah, you just got back from Jamaica,
Yeah,
my
the Gulf,
guy.
The Gulf of America.
Jamaica,
maybe,
man.
Head over there.
Yes, very good impression, Randy. So what about you, Joe? You just got back from Jamaica. So where else? Where would you want to go in Europe? How about that?
In Europe?
Yeah.
Spain.
Spain,
I'm gonna go to
okay.
the south of Spain.
Well, we just had somebody
There
on.
we go. So there we go. Maybe I have to
see
go and
Luis
visit him
there
over there, Luis
and all
over
of that.
there is-
Okay. Fun times as we talk about vacations, as we sit here in lovely zero weather, 0
Yeah,
degrees. We're
hey,
32
we'll
degrees
take it.
today.
We'll
take
take
it today.
We'll take it.
I think we turned the corner. We get to like 60, 65
Market.
On the weekend.
Yep.
All the snow seems to be melting, my guy.
There we go.
It's good. My wife just messaged me and said, "Hey, what works for our son's golf camp?"
Oh.
So we just signed him up there July
There you go.
7th. The week of July 7th, he'll be at golf camp all day.
There you go.
So he's
snowboard camp. Snowboard camp.
Yes.
Now golf.
Now golf camp.
There we
And
go.
I don't even want to talk about hockey, as I know you know what's what's good there. But at the end of the day, the thing is too is that now that he's grown like a couple inches, seems like over the winter time.
Yeah.
Guess what else he needs?
Got
now?
your new clothes, new everything.
clubs.
There you go. New clubs. There you go.
Thing is, I have an
That's
old
it.
set. I golf left, and he golfs left.
Oh, okay. So,
So
that
it's
works
gonna
out. That works
that's
out
gonna
there.
work out.
So-
But you know where I would go for used golf clubs? I would go to, and I know Sharif uses this as well. Facebook Marketplace. Like
Marketplace,
if I was gonna look for golf clubs, like that's where. I mean, for myself, maybe get a newer set, but definitely Facebook Marketplace. I like to look there for various.
Yeah, there was a golf sale right beside my grandma's place at the Legion. There, they had like this golf sale. Yeah. So I was thinking
that's
about
fun when
going
you have
in
like
there, so.
little swaps and stuff like
Exactly,
that.
right.
The Legion, okay. I go there, play some bingo. All right, Adara is ready patiently at screen with upgrades and downgrades.
Trade side of things, Intel kicking off the list 11% to the upside, $25 price target from BofA Securities. Worth noting, though, they only upgraded them to neutral, so not much of a move up here. We have FedEx getting an upgrade from Truist. They report earnings alongside Nike and Micron next Thursday after the bell. BioNTech, they had earnings on Monday of this week, slightly down in the day, but getting an upgrade from Citigroup, and Apogee here with an upgrade from Citigroup as well. The downgrade side of things, the first two names here, some of yesterday's biggest earnings losers, American Eagle Outfitters with a downgrade from Barclays, Adobe here getting downgraded by BMO Capital Markets, still though with a hefty $495 price target compared to the $400 level they're trading around right now. Then we have Federal here with a downgrade from Truist. Last but not least, Needham downgrading ZimV. Some interesting names here, guys.
Yeah, anything interesting to you there, Joe?
Well, I mean, Adobe with the downgrade was slightly interesting, I find. But yeah, Intel as well. Looking forward to trading
Joe,
this today.
You need a coffee?
I'll take a black, please, and thank you. Cheers, mate. 5-star service, man.
And this is
Jeez,
what I'm
I
saying.
feel like, hey, this is what it's like over here.
Welcome, my
Welcome
friend.
to the peak.
I mean, if you guys need anything on the Midday show, Midday show is 5-star service as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought.
You know,
it
if
was,
I'm ever here and you need anything, my guy,
Oh, okay. All right.
quick message.
I thought it was
I've
more
got
of,
you guys.
of self-serve over there.
You know,
Okay.
Sharif, if Sharif ever needs a massage on there,
I've seen that.
You know, I massage.
I got one too.
Yeah?
I got one too. So it was like,
You don't get massages on the main show
no,
over
no,
here.
you don't get a hey. Well, maybe.
You know?
Give Randy
You just get whole oranges and a couple coffees. But we want to thank Randy for that.
That's it. Well, I'll take it. But gonna milk that, maybe that 5-star service over there on the midday.
Yeah, man, do it for sure.
But yeah, guys, I mean, here with Intel, we're starting to trade a little bit higher. We're putting in about 9 million shares on the session. We're up 14%. One thing that I do want to see before I get into this name is a pullback below the volume-weighted average price, and then maybe look for the continuation of strength. Right now, we are a little bit deviated from VWAP, and that's something that say, hey, we might pull back into the indicator, and then you can look for a continuation of the trend. So that's my primary game plan for this morning there, Sean, is wait for that pullback here in INTC. Maybe we can catch a low and then join the trend if it wants to continue any higher. But I mean, it is up 14% here on the session.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Intel very, very soon. Make sure you do scan that for real trading. And then we also have our watch list. Get the link in description. That'll be coming up very, very soon. And we build, basically the morning show off the watch list. So if there's anything that you guys are interested in trading, probably it'll be on the watch list. So make sure you do check that out. For me there, I think, a name that we never really trade, I wonder about FedEx, and I was looking at this name for a little bit, Joe, and you're coming into some decent support levels. You're down quite a bit off the top there. If the economy is still relatively strong, there's going to be need to ship. We know about that. FedEx, I think they're best of breed. I mean, I can look up UPS as well and figure that out. I'm not 100% sure on their last earnings report which one was more impressive. I believe it was FedEx. At the end of the day, you are trying to break a little bit lower there as well. Oh, I put on. Yeah, I'm tired of this cockroach talk right now. So it's funny because I sent. So I put that out if anybody was, and again, it's over, what is it, 400,000 views, or what is that on? We have O'Leary on TikTok there. Brendan told me yesterday, like I said, I should be advertising this TikTok more often. I didn't even realize there was a TikTok that we had here. But at the end of the day, I can't find it. I'll find it in a minute. But we had great time there when he was calling us, it was a Shark Tank line, and he was making fun of the iWatch and everything like that. So is it called iWatch? Apple Watch? iPods? AirPods?
Apple Watch.
iWatch?
Yeah. No.
iPhone?
Yeah, iPhone. Apple.
I don't know. How about that?
Yeah, that was a good one. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. I have no idea.
Anyways, should be a fun day here. All right, NVIDIA up to 116. All right, let's go back over to the desk because 9 o'clock, and we are going to start our infamous rundown.
I still want an iRobot whenever it shows up. I mean, they have to at some point.
Optimus. It'll be
no, but Apple, like,
anyway. We'll see.
Go ahead.
56.05, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES March contract. We're below that right now. We're trying to fight to break back above 5,600. We're at 55.99 right now. So the overnight high takes us to 56.23, but we're going to use that same level that we used yesterday as resistance, 56.50. If we don't reclaim 5,600, we're looking to the overnight low, 55.59, so essentially 55.50 as support.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab the watch list. Super easy. Jump down to the description of this video. Top link in the description will take you to that page you just saw. Enter your email address, and then you get it for free. Every single day comes right to your inbox, has everything on it you need to know in the pre-market, including this one, 13.5%. Just took out the highs right now for Intel. Everyone can rest easy. The search is over.
I messaged Neil bright and early at 5 a.m. I told him I told you so. No, inside joke. So Intel appoints Lip-Bu Tan as its new CEO, replacing interim co-CEOs David Zinsser and MJ Holthos. The stock, as you saw there, surged, Brendo, over 12%. We'll have to see how it closes out the end of the day. So Lip-Bu is well known to people at Intel. He previously served as CEO of Cadence Design Systems, but he was a former Intel board member. He departed last year due to other commitments. He now rejoins the board as part of the management team as well. And so we've seen this whole kind of cycle with Intel, 4 CEOs in 7 years. Gelsinger being the longest lasting of those 4. He had a strategy to build out the foundry business, which obviously faced setbacks, revenue declines, and huge capital expenditures.
Yeah, I mean, up nicely this morning. I'm sorry, I have to read this headline because, anyway. Trump family has held deal talks with Binance. for a stake in the crypto exchange.
Wow. Well, it's interesting because I think, what's his name again? The CEO of Binance? I forget his name.
Yeah.
CZ.
Yeah.
So he tweeted this morning that he thinks that the Trump backing of crypto could be like an entire world bull market. So they're kind of
Especially if they
back
own
for
an
it there.
exchange.
I wonder. I wonder what's going on over there.
Nice bounce though for iBit. Anyways, guys, on that.
Here was our little thing that we had found there from when he completely roasted us. Right here, there you go. Do you crush it like the cockroaches you are? I was like, what? Oh, wow. And then Neil's like, whoa, 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 whoa. As we did have a great time there as well. So we thank everybody that was here that day, and we remember that. Again, sticky notes up on Instagram as well. Like yesterday's sticky note, you click on it, you have here, then you go side to side. It's like a carousel. There's NVIDIA, there's Palantir, there's Google, there's BBAI,
There's the sticky
Big
note.
Bear,
Tina
and then
Man.
there is the note as well. So,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, I'll talk this way.
Ramin always distracts.
Yeah, it's all right, man. You got to listen to the boss.
there's your
once in a
coffee,
while.
by the way.
Yeah, I know. See, look.
There's the
There we go.
coffee.
And it's quick, too, so.
All right, so yeah, it's good. Yeah, good. Thanks, Randy. There's that
Ritz.
five. There's that five stars.
The Ritz.
Diamond.
It's like the Ritz.
It's a diamond service. Okay, so yeah, there's DJT. I know Brendan was just talking a little bit. Oops. DJT. I called it up on my other platform, so we'll look it up on my eSignal. We'll look it up right there. It's a nice little pop off, $20 right there about getting into crypto. I thought there was another story about crypto a couple weeks ago there where they were investing again in potentially another exchange. So looks like that's something that they're going to be interested in here. We'll see what the board decides and what CZ thinks. Again, I mean, nothing wrong with teaming up with this name, but you can see what's been happening to DJT. We talked about True Social. When it was DWAC, it was a huge name. We got that bump right there. This was, I believe, the attempted assassination there. And then we got the bump there on election as well. So these highs of $50, I don't know if we're going to... I would say we don't get back there. You do never know. I mean, I was also thinking too, we're going to go to Intel in a minute. We know it's a pretty interesting tie-up is all of a sudden Donald and Elon are best friends, and Elon has a competitive product to True Social, potentially True Social, some kind of a merge there with X. I don't know. I'm just thinking out there, combine the two platforms. That might not be great for X. That might not be great for True Social. I don't know. I just sort of popped in there today. All right, so on today's sticky note, we wrote down the same thing as always, man. I just think that it's pretty easy trade there today to go long on Intel. I just wrote down that we have, so that's it. You guys can go find it. It's on X. It'll be on Instagram in a minute. Thing is like, I just don't know. Like the 200 period is 2250. I wrote down 2150. Now, the thing about 2150 is, first of all, you're getting right into there. So, it was sort of yesterday's highs, 2140. All right. It sold off pretty much all day. Didn't really get going. The NASDAQ was up a 1.5% yesterday, and Intel was up actually not too bad, about 80 cents. So at the end of the day, Intel was pretty weak. Then it gets that announcement, right? I mean, Obi was here shorting it all, not shorting it all day, but he had these tops in and around, I think it was 2073 to be exact, if I can remember his levels. And so right there, then you get the pop. I could see Intel getting faded a little bit there. It's up 13%. Anybody that bought these dips, which I know there's traders that have, I bought it down here and didn't sell when it went all the way to 27, so look at me. But this looks like a great level to be buying at. So again, the same thing like what happened yesterday. You wake up this morning and you get a 13% pop. You're running into the 200 period moving average. I could see this name profit taking early. So all that I wrote down was Joe is now in the chat officially. Thank you, Ramin, for that. I just said watch the price action here on the sticky note. Watch it early. Figure out what's going on and potentially play off this 200 period moving average. If it tanks, let it base. That's the thing. Let it base out. Like if you put a couple $1,000s or whatever you put into this name in the last couple days, thinking that it potentially had bottomed there at $20, like many of these names have hit key levels, I just think that waking up today, still uncertainty in the market, maybe you sell this name down a little bit. So we want to play momentum long, Joe, but at the end of the day, I'd rather get it at a much better price.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I agree with that there, Sean. So I mentioned before, guys, that we are still up quite a bit here in INTC. So we'll be patient on this. we'll wait out. We'll wait for that correct entry. We are up 13%. I said that multiple times here, guys. So we're just going to be extremely patient on an entry here. If we can get in around 23s at the base of this key support level from the pre-market, then I think we might be able to continue here in the long with INTC, guys.
Let's go on to UiPath. Intel day highs, Path day lows. Right now, coming off that earnings report from last night, we're actually trying to get back above 950 right now. Yeah, 950 here this morning for Path.
All right, let's talk about what they did, Brendo. Not a bad report, kind of mixed here. EPS came in at 9 pennies. That exceeded the analyst estimates of 3 pennies. Revenue also came in at about 424 million. That was slightly below the 425 and a third the street was looking for, but they did increase revenue year over year, up from that 405 and change. Let's talk about their key financial metrics, though. So annual recurring revenue, ARR, 14% increase there, 1.666, ominous number there, billion on the year. New ARR added in Q4 was about $60 million and a good retention rate there, apparently 110%. Don't really know how that works. Now, with respect to their financial outlook, revenue guidance, 330 to 335. That's the problem. That's significantly below the analyst expectations of 368 million. And then you saw what the stock did after that.
That is definitely the problem. I was just checking here. Kathy's ARC.com. Yeah, she's still in this. 2%, so not a lot, but 2% of her portfolio in UiPath at $12, guys, for Kathy.
Yeah, it's actually not even a bad price, considering like where we've come from here on UiPath. Darren and myself brought this to everyone's attention last night on the show, and I was just like, this is just part of some of those scam names that came out during 2020 to 2022, where there was a lot of hype for many names, and then they just come crashing down. So this is like really bad. It's really embarrassing that some of these underwriters actually bring these things to market and then try to pump them up and sell them to you, and it's just like boom, boom, boom. Just completely destructed, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, the low was 1037 right there. If we go to a daily chart, you'll see today, well, hold on. So there it is. So we're below this. I was just trying to show you like what kind of levels we looked at. We did barcode for a bit before dropping it down. This is your E-signal chart. I don't have it marked down. I have to fix that setting so we can see where the print is today. But down here to 950, I mean, it's looking bad. But the thing is, I remember Rigetti was down a little bit. We had Big Bear AI down. Like a lot of these names were down on earnings and then wind up getting... I need to get some water. We're down on earnings and then managed to bounce back. The thing about it is, I just checked up UiPath short float. It's only at 7%. So it may not get that short bump that sometimes we see, right? Some covering. So we had yesterday around the 20% mark for UiPath on an expected move. Unfortunately, it's 20% down. But if Kathy, and this is part of the story, right? If Kathy's ARC and all that is being built down, it seems like it's sinking. But if this is going to be supported, I would understand a buy here. So 920. I think you might want to wait to see if we do flip into there. That was the low. Oh no! Trump threatening a 200% tariff on European wine.
Oh.
So get your Barolos ASAP right now. Get into those French Alps there. Make sure
Bellinis there, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Get. Well, so we already have our liquor store already is taking off
all the American
U.S.
stuff,
booze. Yeah, so
they had videos about it.
Get your Jack Daniels while it lasts, I guess, around here. But anyways, UiPath, as Sharif and Brendan mentioned, man, the number's not great. The guide, we'll just wait to see. But this is getting crushed, man. This is at all-time lows right now. I think it's a little silly to play the long, but I don't think it's a bad try down here at that low of 920. And then it's a 20-cent worth risk. Because if it breaks $9, then you got an option level of $9. So there could be some action there. We could get it forced out through there, maybe even down to $8. Get this thing down 30% before eventually you pop. But anyways, I think it's worth the shot down there at 920. And fade levels, I'm not going to say let's short this anywhere, because if it does pop and it gets that action underneath it, this thing could be up another $2. So let's just wait to see what winds up happening. But tariff on bourbon, yeah. All right, so any ideas on UiPath?
Yeah. So I'm looking at UiPath right now here, guys, down 20% here on this session. And what I was thinking here, Sean, is that we are down a considerable amount here, guys. So what I was looking for is you want to look for the continuation in this primary trend that we have now established. But I'm thinking, hey, if we can get somewhat of a pop above this resistance zone, then look for the fade at the highs. You don't want to necessarily short the lows in case it does squeeze, like Sean was saying. So we're going to be patient in this name. It does have volume backing it as well, too, about 2.15 million shares traded this far since 6:30 till now. So if I'm going to short this name, I'm going to look for a pop above the volume-weighted average price, and then those turnaround signals that say, hey, we're ready to go back to the lows, the pre-market lows, or it just might capitulate and continue that downward momentum. So really tricky one here. Be patient. If it works at the lows of the pre-market ranges, then look for that short. But also if you get that squeeze-like type price action, be patient and wait for that precise entry there, guys.
Gapping to the downside here this morning. I'm trying to get back above 247 right now. But yeah, that 250 sticking point, if you zoom out a little bit on this chart, that was where we broke down from, essentially going back to the beginning of the week. So we're just
attacking alcohol.
Basically right below that that point. That, I mean, Monday was such a mess for this thing.
Oh, yeah.
We've come right all the way back now. Not a significant catalyst here this morning. I wouldn't say they're teaming up with Baidu on their driver assistance technology, but let's see what happens today.
Well, Brendo, if they want to move the needle with their sales in China, they're going to have to get FSD a bit better, especially when they're charging and their competitors aren't. Yeah. So let's talk about what they're doing. So Tesla is working with Baidu to improve its FSD version 13 in China after facing customer criticism. Baidu engineers have apparently been sent out to Tesla's Beijing office to integrate the lane marking and traffic light data into Tesla's system. So you're probably wondering why. Why are they going to do all that? Well, unlike in the US, Tesla actually cannot train its AI models with real-world data from Chinese vehicles due to strict data laws. So this lack of localized training has led to frequent traffic violations by the new FSD version 13, including like wrong lane changes, running red lights, all that good stuff. So the US also, believe it or not, doesn't allow Tesla to train its AI in China, creating a regulatory quandary. So it's like every country wants to protect itself, much to the loss of Tesla. So we'll have to see how they navigate this, right?
Yeah, see, we can't get it back above that 250 today, guys, and hold for Tesla. It's been a rough week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you own any Tesla in the long term? Yeah, I'll take that as a yeah. It's a dramatic pause work. So, well, I was mentioning it yesterday too, though, Sean. I don't own Tesla shares for him to be a part of Doge. I own him to run Tesla, right? So,
Joe, get it. I didn't know if people heard Sharif. I think that's a great point.
Right.
I mean, we talked about that as Tesla head to the downside when he was looking to buy X.
Right.
You know, and he was in the courts and he was battling that. He was like, no, I don't want to buy it. Yes, I do. Yes, no, I don't. And then when he was battling
forced to, apparently, though, at some point, the SEC made him buy it.
Well, he had the bid in there.
He did.
I don't know. Anyways, that story that's well documented. Yeah. You can go find that story out. But no, I think focus is very important. We saw the move in Intel with the new leadership there. He needs to get back focused on what he's doing, in my opinion. But this guy's, I mean, you know, way smarter than I figure that he'll figure this all out. Tesla's just getting a bad, in my opinion, right now. We talked about, Sharif just mentioned their auto sales. Obviously, we'd like to see those turn around and go north and start beating some expectations instead of getting underneath that. And honestly, with all the rhetoric that's been happening now, I think people are not, like, I was like, for example, yesterday I was thinking, because my car's up on lease, I want to roll something else. And I was like thinking about getting a Tesla. I told you this story, or maybe I didn't tell it to you, but I told everybody. And I was with a couple of my buddies, and they're like, oh, like now if you get a Tesla, it's just not, you're not looked upon the same way. Like you're from the right, you know, or you're,
is that how it is? It's a political stance now.
Right, so now I feel like it used to be like, let's support America regardless of what side of the aisle you're on. Mm-hmm. I think it's all, that's yours. Yeah, that, you know, I hate that we're talking politics when we're talking about a car company.
Exactly.
So to your, or a robotics company, but to your point, that's the focus, right now. And I just think you want to get out of the way. of Tesla until it gets figured out. Yesterday, again, real choppy into the close, real choppy off the open here. I would just say go, if the market gets going, I think we have a great level here at 252. And yeah, man, I last bought this thing at 330.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I've been in this name
You got
for
any
over a year.
Jam in my face? Yeah.
Over a year.
Oh,
now.
you're in this as well.
Yeah, so I'm in it. It's my second largest holding.
Look, I mean, you want me to tell you?
Our third largest holding. Sorry, and I've been in it since early last year, early 24, and it went on this monster run. But again, guys, I'm not in this name, but it comes with the territory, I guess, right? When you own Tesla, you're owning the CEO, I guess, and that comes with Elon Musk, and we know that he does have his mind everywhere and now taking a part of Doge. So we'll be a little bit more patient in this. We're going to wait for an oversold bounce. We do know that we're down 45% off of those all-time highs, guys. So I do think that bounce is imminent, but at the same time, it's like at what end, at what cost? We need those sales, those EU sales to start picking up, the China sales as well too. I say this all the time. We need to get that fleet out in Austin. Robotaxi needs to come into full effect. Waymo's continuing to take share all over the place. They're in LA now, going over to Miami. So they're just moving at a faster pace than what Tesla may be right now. So we're gonna be a little bit patient. Hopefully we get this oversold bounce. I'm looking for 300 to just get completely out of the name and get liquid, and then maybe in a year or two I'll look to get back into this.
So just looking here, you talked about the long-term account. So I just looked right now. It's not just letting this is part of zooming out. So I'm still up 58.27%. On Tesla.
You know what's funny about that? I had an 111% gain.
Right.
Now I'm down to 10%.
Right. So that's 58 now. What was it at the top?
Right. Exactly.
So that's I just think that he tweeted out the other day as well that this is a long-term game. So it's just like I remember, and we talked about this before. Amazon pre-split, I remember there was this, you don't know him, but there's this big guy here that used to work in the back, and he used to make fun of me because when Amazon broke $100 for the first time, whatever, I was buying it, and he was like, what are you doing? This is ridiculously overvalued, blah, blah, blah. Went to 700 or 800. Same thing with NVIDIA, right? You get these runs. Yeah. Can Tesla have one of these runs in it? I think yes, right? We're going to wait to see what you talked about, Waymo, robo-taxis, so on and so forth. That's going to be a segment that eventually gets developed. Brendan's already has his pre-order in for Optimus there, looking to walk the dog and do the laundry and things like that. So, I mean, I'm ready to rock and roll on an Optimus. And I think a lot of us...
At any point. Let me know.
At any,
yeah.
You're available?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not available. But
I thought you were saying that you were going to be do
Optimus, but I'll get an Optimus anytime.
Yeah, man. Yeah, anytime. I wonder what those would go for.
Probably about 20, 30.
20, that's what I was thinking. 20, 25.
20, 30.
Add the tariffs on there, 70, 75. Yeah, it should be okay. All right.
100K Canadian
at that point. Yeah, it's 25 into the dealership, but 100 out the door. So, all right, let's go back to the desk. Brendan, what do you think they'd charge for a robot there?
It's actually saying was somewhere in the neighborhood of 20.
Yeah.
It was going to cost them 10-ish to make, so it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 20.
And he was talking about it being less than a car.
Yeah.
You got to imagine it's going to be the same thing. You lease one of these, you finance, just like a car.
For sure. I want to. I still want to. Palantir. I don't know why. Palantir downside here, 1.2%. We mentioned that Archer tie-up this morning. If you missed it or just joining right now, they're teaming up with Archer Aviation on scaling manufacturing of their aircraft. So heads up on ACHR as well.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting today. We're going to have AIP. Hopefully, Darryl will be all over that. Loop Capital as well, chiming in on Palantir today. Analyst Mark Chappell from Loop lowered Palantir's price target from 141 to 125, but did maintain the buy rating. He is bullish on Palantir long term, citing its leadership in AI. But there are some challenges that we really need to talk about here. Investors are worried about the potential federal budget cuts, which could impact government contracts. A major source of revenue for Palantir, over 2/3 of their money comes from the government.
Yeah, we're holding on to key levels here, guys, though. If you go back to the beginning of the week, some support coming into play from Monday, even going back to Friday as well for Palantir.
And all that stuff. We're just talking about, I just got a note in my Google Calendar that said buy the SPY, because I put it in there because I don't, I've never really gone in there and dollar cost average into the indexes or anything like that. So I do have now a monthly reminder that pops in there to have a look. I mean, I just bought last week the SPY. So, or VOO, you were asking about it. And then I said, I buy XSP. So just so you guys, for those of you that are in Canada here, this is a Canadian hedged mimic of the S&P 500. So again, this is what it looks like here, obviously straight to the downside, CAD hedged. So I just get paid in Canadian dollars. I just don't want to convert it over. And then you don't have to also play the back and forth game with what's going on the broader market as far as US dollar, because I do own a lot of Google and all. And like Palantir, for example, is sitting in my account in US dollar denomination. So, okay. Yeah, look, today they have, again, we talked about it there. There's their conference going on today. We got that news with Archer Aviation joining. I'm not even sure. I can't even remember. I mean, I'm not sure if Brendan just mentioned it, but I'm not sure what the deal is. But we're expecting more to come from Palantir. Look, I mean, I really like the name. It's just what goes up like an elevator apparently also falls like an elevator as well. But right now it's looking out the window there. It's looking a little bit more like stairs right now. So I think we can start to climb and get a little bit back into this 90-92 area within the next week or so. I think that's possible. That's only 10% from here. Palantir yesterday moved 7 or 8%. It's had 3 good days in a row. I feel like the buyers come in. The only thing is it's 9.25 right now, so we got to get going. But the buyers don't necessarily come in until the whole market rebounds. So we had a huge move down yesterday. $84, the high of the day, was made at 9:30. And then we just fell in the rest of the day before making it all back and stopping at 84 again. So I would say if we're looking short, which we sort of are early here, that would be a great short level. For a dip, I'm not calling any levels right now, although 82 right there would be somewhere to start, but I'm not, like 80 on the knot. We actually wrote down yesterday right here, Palantir 79, or that was 2 days ago, 78 to 79. Yesterday, I have to find it right here. Read what we wrote down yesterday, Joe, for this. PLTR.
Damn, all right, I see.
80 long, we wrote down yesterday. The bottom yesterday while we were swimming was 80 long. So that may come into play again here today. I could see Palantir dropping $3. We opened yesterday at this exact same level and dropped $3. So let's see if it happens again today. Although the market rebounding nicely, trying to get to the pre-market highs, we got to watch out for that CPI high right there. All right, Joe, any thoughts on Palantir?
Yeah, I like Palantir. I mean, it does get a little meme craze at sometimes. Guys, we went on a monster rally, but we are now down about 34% off of those all-time highs. We do know that a lot of participants can join this name and like to trade it because it does have that cult-like type price action. So I like Alex Karp and company. He doesn't like that it had such a short float at one time. But yeah, climbing really high, one of the better performing stocks on the year. I know it's consistently in play. You can see that we have 3.1 million shares traded in the pre-market, so that's a good amount there. That would pop up on my high volume scanner, and that's exactly why we're going to look at Palantir. We're going to look for that cult-like type price action to join, and then maybe we can start to climb a little bit higher here. But one thing that I don't like here, Sean, is that we are starting to trade higher in the pre-market. I would like to see a little bit of a pullback below the volume weighted average price, and then after we can take part in that primary trend to the top side, hopefully.
Adobe time.
Adobe.
Yeah, day lows right now, but it just bounced quite nicely, actually. Trying to get back above 409 anyways. But the list of analyst moves here continues to grow on this stock. Price targets downside for the most part after earnings were a bit of a disappointment. Guidance kind of weak.
The guidance was weak, Brando. They did okay on the current quarter, so let's talk about that. EPS came in at 508, exceeding the 497 the street was looking for there. Earnings from last year were about 448, so a nice beat there. And that's the 4th consecutive quarter that they have surpassed the consensus EPS estimate. Let's talk about revenue. How'd they do on revenue? They reported $5.71 billion, beating the estimate of $5.18. Adobe has now outperformed revenue expectations in each of the past 4 quarters, so they continue on that trend. But this is kind of where it all kind of falls apart a little bit here. Next quarter's EPS 4.97 on revenue of $5.79 billion, with their full year projections being EPS of 20.39 on revenue of 23.45. Both missed the street's expectations.
Back to the upside right now. I mean, it's kind of volatile, to be honest. Just saw a note on SoFi as well, moving around here, went green, but coming back into $12. just finalizing a $5 billion loan facility and platform business agreement for personal loans with funds managed by Blue Owl Capital. Again, SoFi with a $5 billion loan platform business agreement here. So it's coming back into 12, but did pop up on that.
Thanks for all that about Adobe. We only have 1 minute left to go. On the imbalances, pretty mixed early. We do have a bid for QBTS. We'll talk about D-Wave as well. Not much else out there. UiPath is a short. We may have to pay for shorts on that one, actually, my guy. We might have forgot about that. All right, so Alibaba, I like 135.50. So this could be the first trade that we actually get involved with because, again, I'm just thinking that the tides might turn here on China. We did have some downside moves yesterday in this name, and you're down again today. So Alibaba yesterday didn't really catch too much love despite the NASDAQ being up. Just wondering if the tides are turning a little bit here on China. We'll wait to see if 135.50 holds. That was yesterday's bottom and an idea that we had off of the list. All right, man, it's countdown time. With only a couple minutes left, Joe, best of luck to you, my friend, and best of luck to everybody else out there as well. If you are trading today, make sure you are trading here and watching us. This opening bell is brought to you by Foremost Clean Energy. Check them out, FMST on the NASDAQ. Adara 2 and 1. All right, we are open. I just got into something immediately. Alibaba, we just got filled there. So let's punch out quickly there on Alibaba. Boom. Look at this fill that just happened there. We were sitting at 135.50. Someone came in and hit me real nice like there. And so we say, thank you. Thank you very much. We'll put a little bit lower here in the 60s, see if we can get a dollar club early, but that's kind of lucky. This is only on 1 unit, so let's just not think that that's the best trade here. Let's wait to see what winds up happening with Alibaba. Put a bid down here at 134. We're also not open yet, Joe, on this name. So we'll wait to see open. Someone just spiked in there and get me there. So I actually got out of 35%. Right there, right off the open, with more bids coming. Let's go, Alibaba. We're waiting at 134.60, and there it is again. There's your first dollar of the day right there on Alibaba. Kind of a fluke trade, though, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. All right, NVIDIA pulling back. Look at the futures pulling back again, and guess what, guys? The exact play happened again. We talked about fading that PPI high again. It does. It gets there in the pre, comes right back up to it, then fade city. So let's wait to see what happens next time it gets there. Don't want to get involved too early, but we're in Alibaba. So right now, that's what we're dealing with. The other names that we had on our board here. Let's check out what's going on with Tesla today early, 246. That's dipping as well, Joe. And then, I don't know, you're not in anything yet, but Intel, INTC was another name that we wanted to look at there. It is falling in, Joe. So here we go. Maybe we do get a 2250 area, which is where I'm bidding right now. Let's go Alibaba. Now we're starting to get to the downside and starting to get a little excited about this name. Still not open yet, but Alibaba's rocking right now.
Yeah, for sure. This is what I mentioned, guys. We didn't necessarily like this pre-market price action leading into the open. What we would want to see is a dip below the volume-weighted average price, right below here, and then that's when you get that elastic effect in the indicator there, guys. So looking for a turnaround here in the overall market. I see that IBIT is starting to trade above the volume-weighted average price. I like it up here. If we can get in at 47.10s, then I'm going to look to get involved. But here we go in INTC here, Sean, starting to rip to the top side, 23.64. Going to go and test that pre-market high. We're not going to chase it at these levels, guys. We're going to wait for it to slowly turn around, test these 23.35, this pre-market base multiple times, and then look to get involved on the long there. But I do like the way that IBIT is sitting up, hovering around the volume-weighted average price. So we'll be patient and wait for that precise entry to get in some of these names.
Yeah, good look right there. We did get out of more and more of Alibaba there as it is starting to go back up to the upside once it's been open. We said we'd wait for pre-market action and early takes on Intel. It looks like we stopped at $23. So I'm going to bid down there. Big size right there on the offer. 200,000 shares, 260,000 shares right there on the offer of Intel, as now it's trying to push down against that level. So now it's gone. It must have marketed itself down there. So now we are out. Oh, not out, but that trade is now off the book. So we'll wait to see what happens here. I'll see if we can pick something up down low there. I don't know if that's going to be the right trade or not, but we'll wait for that one. All right, Tesla down 1 point.
Tanking.
Tesla, everything's getting hit right now. Nvidia to the downside as well, down into 115. But it's more the Tesla trade that's right now coming into 243, 244 here. I actually don't mind this as a take here on Tesla. Let's try a little bit here and see if we can get going. We'll buy this dip in for Tesla as we're just come back in a little bit. These were some levels that we were looking at from yesterday, 242. So now that we're at 243.50, we'll take a bid here, Joe, and watch to see what happens. Our out's going to be in and around this 242 area, so we're not going to let this one go too far against us. But we're in right now. We're in Tesla long. We're in at 243, as you can see on the bottom. 69. So guys, everyone who's watching now, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe, and we've got our guy Joe here, who's also going to be doing double duty. You're on all day. So there we go. All right, here we go.
INTC.
Yeah, here we go. You're on Intel? Yeah, great trade there on Intel. Here goes Tesla. We just take a little bit out. We're long at 69. We just got 40s right there, Joe. There it is, man. It's a dollar club right there on Tesla as well. Here goes Tesla. Let's go, Elon. You know, get Trump in that car. I know he doesn't drive, but maybe take some photo ops. Let's go. 244.50. Nice move to the upside here. Maybe DJT wants to invest a little bit in Tesla. Let's get going here and see if we can't make it back at least. It's Tesla. Get it back there into. That was crazy that he said that. Just a little slip, a Freudian slip there, I guess. Tesla? Yeah, he said, this is one of the greatest companies, Tesla. Yeah. And Elon was right there. I love Tesla.
It's funny. I thought, because I call it Tesla too sometimes.
You do? What's wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. I like it. Just, it rolls off the tongue pretty good, right?
Oh, does it? Okay.
Tesla.
Yeah. There's just so many computers in this car. I don't even know what to do. Okay, so right now, all right, so Alibaba is getting carried away. Like, what's going on here? We got more out. No, it's the upside. We got more and more out there, but Alibaba, I'm not. Because we're still in this name, I think we can use this as maybe the top there, 136.50. You know, we closed out yesterday around this level, 136, 137. I'm going to add a little bit to this short and then see what's working out here. But Alibaba and Tesla, my two early positions. Congratulations so far on your Intel, it looks like.
Yeah, we're in some Intel, guys. Not too much size on this name, but you can see what we did here is we played the break of this pre-market high. We were waiting for that dip below the volume-weighted average price, and then that's when you get that elastic effect. You can see that we rebounded quite nice in this name, and then we played the crack here of 23.79 and continuing to climb higher. So as we go on this ascent here, Sean, we're going to continue to piece things out. So up 17.25 is INTC. Wasn't expecting this type of price action in this name, but it's really starting to buzz here, my friend. So IBIT not looking too good. NVDA back above the volume weighted average price, which is a positive sign. Unfortunately, Tesla getting taken behind the woodshed once again here, guys. Not a good look in this name. Was hoping of more of a turnaround and us chop around these specific 240 levels, these mid 240 levels, and make a break for 250, 260, but it doesn't seem to be the case right now. Palantir still hovering around the VWAP as well. Let's see what the overall market is up to, guys. If we're positive or negative, so there you go. As NVDA starts to sell off here, you can see the correlation between the two. NVDA and the Qs looking to break some of these key support levels here.
Yeah, I mean, the TQs are okay. So Tesla just broke there. So again, we didn't have too many shares. We were trying to wait for that 243. It does come in. We wind up taking the L there on Tesla. But again, live to see another day, man. We're not going to sit here and continue to watch this stock as it gets absolutely crushed against the market, right? You're down 3% now on Tesla. So I guess we tried to support. I mean, we're going to do this all the time, man. I mean, we tried to support some of those lows in the pre-market. That just didn't happen. We were able to get out of a little bit early, but then, yeah, the bleed is real right now on TSLA, apparently. All right, we're flat on BABA after waiting for that 136.50. We didn't get the best prices. We got 136.15s, I think was my best fill. Yeah, so 136.15. Let's see if this one works. I mean, we could get something out at 135. Let's put a bid down there, 135.25. Hopefully, we can get into that level, as this is stronger than the market, that is for sure. NVIDIA was a name that we saw rally yesterday, possibly a good little dip buy opportunity as we're back into this area now for NVIDIA, where we've been holding on this pre-market. 115.50 was a good little bottom there, it seems like. Now up $1 from that level. We could definitely take a look to see if that that wants to work out for itself as well. We did check out UiPath as well. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a bounce for them early. Not really that SSR bounce that maybe a lot of us were hoping for, up to $10 and right back down to $9.60 again. So like that got to 10 and now it's down 40 cents from there. That's 4%. So nice little move there for UiPath. Is this market coming back now? Maybe. Tesla's not though.
No.
Tesla's making basically new lows as we speak, despite what this market is doing. So watch out below for TSLA. That was not a good look on that long, apparently, as we just keep going lower, despite the market with a little bit of a rebound. Palantir does do that move again, though, Joe. Right off the open again. See, Tesla doesn't hold pre-market lows, but Palantir does, man. And if you were supporting that level, then you've done pretty good there at $82. But the market is just dancing now. Well, there's no numbers coming, so there's nothing saving us right now. We did get a stronger, the number was lower, but a better look on the PPI, and that seems like that's the temporary high for right now. It looks like you've still got Intel. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, I'm still in some Intel here, guys. If we can focus on the time of sales here, you can see that we're consistently getting these flushes above the ask.
Are we?
And that's what caused my entry. So you can see that we have this strength within it, and there we go. We're continuing to climb higher in INTC. And with that, we're going to do a little bit of some trimming here at the highs here. Let's see if we can catch a fill, and there we go.
I like
continuing to climb. Here we up 17, closer to 18% here in Intel, guys. Are going to take a little bit more off. 2450 might be in the works. Unfortunately, no access to Bookmap, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. We'll just continue to look at our level 2, and hopefully this can climb higher and higher. But you can see the strength in the time of sales here, guys. So this is what we would look for, and that's what caused me to get into this entry. So good look here on INTC. Let's see what A is up to.
Keep an eye here on QBTS, just getting its first red candle of the day, but generally pretty strong here for D-Wave Quantum. They did miss here by 1 cent for their earnings per share, so slightly larger than expected loss. Sales miss as well, but D-Wave has a decent short float. Quantum names have been on watch lately, so keep an eye out for D-Wave Quantum, QBTS. Other quantum takers include IONQ and RGTI. Back to you.
All right, we're going to try Apple. Thanks, Dara, for that one. Yeah, I mean, we were looking at Rigetti a little bit, QBTS there on earnings. So good luck. Thanks to Dara for that one. Look, 217. It's been this top. We do want to wait for 218. We'll try early. We don't want to play. I mean, we've already talked about how volatile these markets can be. So we'll go short here against the 200 period on Apple, but we're not going to wait for 218. We're not. We're just going to get out at 217 is what I'm trying to get at here if we do break on that name. Tesla's trying to rebound as well, as here goes the whole market. So yesterday, Apple gave us a great trade. Apple long yesterday was I think my P&L number 1 there yesterday. Maybe not yesterday, or definitely the day before. But we'll short Apple right there and see if we can get a little bit of a pullback in this name, as we do know that there has been some weakness in this name, that is for sure. Let's take advantage now. There we go. Let's take advantage of this pullback. Hit the siren a little bit here as we start to come back in for Apple. If this market loses the bid, we should be able to, really take advantage of this, and it looks like we are sort of doing that right now. Let's capture it. We're now 50 cents in the money on Apple right now. Did you just hit that siren?
I did. You said hit the siren, so that's...
Oh, yeah. No. I'm hoping that the market...
I know that literally, but hey...
No, thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's a nice 5-star service right there as well. But yeah, no, we'll wait. What I meant by that is, let's see if the market sounds an alarm here, and when we start to get back down to the downside, and I think we do have a great trade here with Apple so far. So there it is. Oh boy, we nailed that. We got lucky again, maybe, with that fill. But again, if you're sitting there, you can get those fills, right? So we're doing that right now. Put out another bid here at 14s. Sit back, relax, and sip some more expensive cognac, apparently, today, as those 200% tariffs get kicked in there on European wine exports.
No more peach Bellini there.
Too much sugar there, my guy.
Too much sugar. I'm a big peach Bellini guy. Just a little juice. But yeah, very...
How many of those could you drink, though? I think...
a lot?
Oh,
a lot.
Oh, I thought they would get too sweet at some point.
So you know what's funny? So my family and I, we go to Niagara Falls for a 10K run. It's like a cancer charity run.
Sweet.
And I introduced them peach Bellini, and now my aunts and my cousins are all... Yeah, they're loving it. They're telling me they're drinking it
frozen, right?
No, you can make it. Make it frozen, but it comes just whatever, just cold.
Yeah. Okay, I know what it is.
CBO picks there, guys. But here we go. I want to get involved in this name, but Katina Man and I were talking about this. It's just chopping around in this 80 to 83 range. I don't know how much momentum can step into this underlying, and the way that it looks, we do have some potential bottoming signals. But the thing is, they're just blowing past them all the time. So I'm a little bit hesitant here, guys, to continue with this long. What I want to see in this underlying asset is a break through the volume-weighted average price, but I want to see sustained volume, and I want to see strength within the time and sales. So got to be patient with this name. I do like this signal right here. So if this can hold off, then maybe we can base a trade off it. So what exactly I'm going to look for is a test of these lows. If we have the inability to crack that and go lower, then now I can say, hey, we formed somewhat of a base. The volume signature is half decent. It's not overly isolated, something that we want to focus on. But NVDA continued to drag the market lower here, guys, so it's not looking too good for a long here in IBIT. I think we have to stick to the longs, and that's with INTC, guys.
Oh boy, here we go. Let's go. A dollar club now on Apple as we are really pushing lower, man. We just took a couple hundy up there, but it's still a good trade. Again, we don't want to get like too excited about some of these moves. We want to make sure that we do have some on board if and when this thing does eventually crack even lower than where we are right now. So we'll bid some out here for that dollar downside right now. We got that. I went to 215.72. Actually, our best fill is at 83s, so not quite a dollar, but close enough to that. We did average back into Alibaba, which is starting to work out for us a little bit now. Still not happy with this trade. I thought we would get a little more of a dump than this, and in fact, Alibaba is going upside right now. So if this thing flips on its head right now, then we know they not like us, but this could get down into the downside right now. 136, 135, and change there. That's where VWAP is. Get to your home, Alibaba. Go to VWAP. Boom! This is a good one. It's another one. What's up, DJ, right there? Oh, I hope that Obi is chilling out with DJ Khaled right there in Miami today. Okay. There it goes, man. $1.15 in the money for Apple. Oh boy, there we go, Joe. We said it yesterday, and we wound up getting smoked after we said it. But it is a daily goal just hit right there for us on Apple. So it's good trade. We do need Alibaba to come back in just a little bit as well to make this trade real. We did lose early though off of Tesla, so we'll go 2 for 3 here with a great move on Apple. Wow, Apple is really Sharif Ayal. Apple's really coming in here a little bit. It's only down 0.67, but that move just comes right into VWAP. So I think we got it. There we go. We got to respect some VWAP trades right now. I'm just starting to piece this out, man. Just like I'm not putting any more tariffs on Apple. I'm just going to get out immediately right now and then see what winds up happening because that tariff has already hit us right there. Apple paying for coffee today, boys. Nice move to the downside there for Apple. We'll see if it can hold that fort now. And Alibaba.
Alibaba, yeah.
Downside. Okay, so you're out of Intel. Did you want to discuss that?
I'm out of Intel. I've actually got out here at the highs, but it seemed to be a pretty good trade.
Beauty, dude.
I'm up about a car wash, a premium car wash right here, guys. So I know we're going with the gauge of cars. So yeah, we're looking at a car wash here, and a premium one at that. So we'll get the rim shine with INTC climbing higher. Let's see if we can hold somewhat of a base and put in this ABCD pattern on the 5-minute chart so we can see that we are taking a breath, holding this level 24 fairly well. Am I going to get in the middle of this range? No, because then I have to risk to the volume-weighted average price. But we'll wait, hold for this, a little liquidity grab, and then maybe we can take a secondary trade here and look for a crack of 24.50, and that's going to be the game plan here in INTC. Tesla continuing to bleed, now down 3.4%. So whatever we gained yesterday is almost gone there, Katina, man. I think we closed about 6 or 7% up on the day, so half of that, excuse me, already diminished. So not too good of a look. I was hoping for the continuation in strength here on Tesla, but it doesn't seem to be the case right now. We'll pull it up on my chart. I usually use TSLA as my vehicle to trade it. You get that 2x levered, but here you can see we're down $7. We're still trading within yesterday's range and looking like we're going to crack the lows here. So not too good of a look here with Elon and company.
Yeah, no. You need a coffee or anything? 5-star service?
No, I'm gonna. Hey, man, I'm good on one.
Okay,
coffee.
yeah, you're all good. You're all good. Okay. Yeah, and again, it's just, don't you find it gets super cold? You don't care if a coffee gets cold?
No, I'm not like.
I like iced coffee. No,
like
there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
No, not a big iced coffee guy. All right, so things just keep on moving around here. Obviously, I'm only in these 2 names. I'm trying to sort of hone this kind of a skill where we're trying to hold on for a little bit more. We are out of, for Apple though, we're out of like 75%. of this trade. It came into VWAP. Like, I don't, like, that for me has to be the trade. The reason why we're holding a little bit more of Alibaba than anything else is because I'm waiting for that exact trade as well. That bottom was 135.70. So we'll put some bids. I just want to make sure I'm at 135.25. That's not going to be good enough. I have to fix these bids. So let's get that. We're going to put one right here at 135.70, 135.80. See if we do get a drip on that one. But are we ready for Adara there, Fabian? Yep, throw to Adara.
Keep an eye on SSP. This is EW Scripts, smaller cap name here with a day 2 earnings play. They reported earnings after the close on Tuesday. They also have about a 3% short float. So small cap earnings name here, earnings day 2 name, SSP. Back to the guys.
Thanks for that one, Adara. We do have D-Wave moving around as well today, up 19% on earnings. Great little name there. Congratulations, anybody on D-Wave. Let's have a quick look together on this name. That was just a great break. We talk about playing breakouts on earnings, man. I mean, you take out the pre-market high, that is the trade. And unfortunately, we don't have it. We should have been a little bit more diligent at looking at these sort of runners there, especially on earnings, right? And so if we are going to look for a high side on D-Wave there, $7. Thank you so much, Randy. And I'm short, so I do appreciate the red cup right there. $7 looks like a decent level, but I think we can get to $7.50 on D-Wave there today. So look for that. I like to play pullbacks into VWAP for earnings, so it wouldn't surprise me if we do get a pullback into 650 on QBTS as my eyes keep looking over at these big boy positions that we have right now. Baba is still trying to figure itself out. I still think we get lower, but I do like that 650 range there on QBTS. And then Rigetti, we did have something that my wife makes called Marry Me Chicken, and she made it with a spaghetti. It was really good, man. Like, my kids. Is that
why you married her? Because of the chicken?
No, I married her because she said yes. Like, it's just like so lucky to have someone say that. But no, I've only been married once and only asked one person. And it's
you're 100% shooter.
That's what we're doing, man. You know what I'm saying, man? No blanks, just straight up there. But at the end of the day, no, it has sun-dried tomato.
I'm a big sun-dried.
Yeah. It might be Maddie Matheson. I'll find out where she got that from. Yeah, there we go. Mr. Westermeyer wants that recipe. It's great, man. It's it's quite nice. And the kids are loving it.
The Marry Me Chicken.
What?
The Marry Me Chicken. They're loving the.
They're loving the chicken.
Yeah.
Anyways, she made it with a side, and it was with pasta, and it was actually really good. So.
Did you ever watch that show Barbecue Showdown on Netflix?
Probably. I've seen like Barbecue Pitmasters.
Yeah, the Pitmasters.
There's Myron something is a big barbecue guy. Myron Mixon.
Oh, okay. No, I've never.
Is that right? For those of you guys that are out there, big Southern. If you could have anything barbecued, what would it be? Ribs, smoked,
brisket.
Come on, who is this guy? Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, so we have this sick brisket place, Maison right here. We've got it before. Adara's loving it. Neil's loving it. Brendan's loving it. I'm just gonna say, because I don't know if he's had it, but he would love it if he has it. Everybody's loving it. We're gonna get pulled. We're gonna get brisket one day. My guy, it comes with these great onions, with an amazing. Adara loves the aioli, right, Adara? Aioli. Yeah. Let's get
some tomorrow.
The thing is, Neil's not here.
So he can feel left out.
Wow.
I feel left out. I can't hear.
Well, as long as everybody, people could hear that. Like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, Neil comes back and is all peed off. There's this place here called Salad King, which is great Thai food. And me and Neil were actually messaging each other last night, and Thai Islamic noodle. Ooh boy. That's off the menu, by the way.
Chiang Mai, the mango salad. Out of this world. It's so good. I could.
All right, man. We gotta figure this out. This is a trading show, by the way, and I want to welcome everybody to it. But hey, man, we just have fun at the end of the day. So I'm in two positions here. The shorts are really printing, my guy. We are now starting to really feel pretty good about what we're doing here today. Down into 215 right now. It's not $1. There, it's one, and then stop it. 1.5. Stop. Ooh. Oh no, there's one that needs to be fixed. So we'll just say hit the like and the subscribe. It's the John Travolta one there. I will not hit it again for that. But again, I don't know. John Travolta's Scientology, is that what he is as well? Right there. You know what? Scientology might be pretty hot, man. I mean, you've seen Tom Cruise these days? I mean, that guy's jumping off buildings. This guy's like...
He does all his own stunts.
All his own stunts. Yeah, this guy's worth hundreds of millions, I think, dollars right there. All right, here we go. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day. Part of that is because Alibaba's coming down into 136 right now. That's $1. Apple's $1.50. We've got Joe right over here, my Jamaican Italian friend, and we are ready to rock and roll. What exactly is going on with Intel, Joe? Are you looking to get back in?
Yeah, I'm looking to get, I really like the price action here, Sean. You can see that we are consistently holding these levels. So we're going to be precise with these entries. We bounced off of VWAP, but the market, I need the market to want to participate too. You can see that these big names are continuing to sell, and it doesn't want to look like they want to find a bottom here, guys. So NVDA continuing to climb lower. Tesla now down 4%. So goodbye to yesterday's gains. Palantir continuing its descent down 3.5% here, guys. So looking for the strength, the continuation of strength here in INTC. Tap into VWAP, and then maybe we can look to get involved in this once again. And if we can sit on top of this range, which we're looking like we're about to right now, then maybe I will. But you can see the weakness really start to step in here on the time of sale. So pay attention to the bid. And we're not very reactive to when we are hitting above the ask. So that's something that I'm going to keep in mind. And you can see that we are on dwindling volume here too. So a little bit of mixed signals here in the tape. So be patient, lower volume signature. So that can signify, hey, this is just pullback territory. And then maybe we look to take another topside move here in INTC up about 15.7% here on the day. Yeah, let's see what A is up to, guys.
We have Oracle on watch here. Lots of headlines coming through on X right now, reposting this story. The Information is reporting that Oracle is the leading contender to help run TikTok in a new deal. We know Larry Ellison's name has been floated around with regards to TikTok in a while, so not super surprising, but ORCL just got this pop into 149's earnings day 3 and reportedly in talks to help run TikTok in a new deal to keep the company in the U.S., at least the U.S. portion, guys. Back to you.
Let's go, man. Look at Alibaba, man, as we continue to go downside right now. It props that up. I mean, we talked about shorting Alibaba. It's one of the short ideas that we do have here on our sticky notes, so we did wind up shorting that. People wondering, my daughter was bored last night, so I said, you know, I need one green, one red. Ooh. So like every short, bang, we'll use... Does it? Oh, I have no idea. Apparently it means F you if you're running around England, apparently. I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. I said, just give me one of each right there. We were sitting there watching Toddlers and Tiaras last night. So we actually watched, oh, shoot. Okay, so new position alert, and we may not like it because we're already long. Sorry, we're already short everything else. I'm going to take a piece out here on NVIDIA. Let's just sit and analyze why exactly I'm long right now on this name. I'm going to take a piece out for that dime if we can get it right there. We did at 160, at 60 cents there. NVIDIA, why did I bid this? We had written down here NVIDIA 114 long. Okay, so coming into yesterday's close right there. Is it? No, that's just yesterday's afternoon bottom. Oh yeah, that's exactly what we wrote down on here. So let's wait to see if that wants to work now. We are long in NVIDIA right now. And there it goes, man. It's 40 cents. So let's take a 40. Hey, Joe, let's take a 40-cent winner right now, guy, on this name. And we'll just do that. We'll put some offers out there, get rung up right there as we are going downside on many names, but not NVIDIA. Alibaba's now that dollar club, and Apple starting to work out as well. Apple's been working out. Down to 215 right now as well. Let's see if Apple can get on some Ozempic and cut some of those price targets down a little bit there. Does that work if the stock takes Ozempic?
Ozempic, yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah, okay, so we'll see there. And Apple today does keep the doctor away. Oh, boy, look at NVIDIA right now. Let's go, man. It's a face slapper. Joe, man, I like you. I like you here. You know what I mean? I mean, it's you're definitely giving some good vibes over here.
We got good vibes in the chat. Ramin's telling me to go to, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I cannot, I don't even know. It just says Thai room. I'm not even going to try to embarrass myself with that other Thai language there. So
Salad King is the best.
Salad King? Okay, we'll try that out. But you got to go to Chiang Mai there and get that mango salad.
Yeah, I know where Chiang Mai is.
That is top notch.
Which one do you go to?
In Liberty Village there.
Okay, because there was one that just opened up in the Junction. I didn't realize that maybe they're a franchise, or maybe it's a similar name.
Yeah, they're definitely franchise. I told you I used to go to that LA Fitness in the Junctions.
Yeah, so did I. I used to be there too. Yeah, maybe
here we go though, Sean. We're looking for possibly a short. It's a little bit iffy of a play. As you can see, we are holding the volume weighted average price quite well here. But if we can crack through this support level, then maybe we can take a little bit of a dip down lower. One thing to note is that the market is continuously selling. Doesn't look like it wants to find a bottom here, Sean. So looking for INTC to start participating and start chipping away at those gains that we put in earlier today. So here we go, starting to climb lower. You can see that we have that descending triangle with a flat bottom break, my guy Sharif likes to say. So continuing this move. But if volume steps in and we squeeze to the top side, I'm going to get out of this trade extremely quick. But here we go. We're going to slowly piece them out here. Not too much size on INTC.
Cancel bids.
We are now below VWAP. Nice little short here on INTC. I'm not the biggest fan of this name, so I have no issue shorting it at 23.80s, taking it lower and lower. Maybe we get to this opening price, this opening drive here on INTC, and I think that can definitely come into the works here, my friend.
Yeah, I like it, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. Good names there. A couple places there. We did get out of NVIDIA. We're still up on NVIDIA, guys. We got out of this name. So in, out. Like I said, cancel bids. Like everything was falling. Our net, everything started ramping up like crazy there. Apple downside. NVIDIA's down at 114. I am not going long. I know I wrote down 114 long on this one, but the market is not giving us any reasons right now to start bidding anything. So I will start to cover though, because again, like we talked about this yesterday, man, we got lit up a little bit in the afternoon because the market wasn't necessarily following, a trend. It was pretty choppy. So if we could take advantage of this, let's do that, man. We are now $3 in the money in total. So let's make sure that we do capture some more profits upside right there. Alibaba's at these levels. Let's start taking it out. What did we say we were waiting for on Alibaba? I know you're busy, Joe, so I'll just answer the question. VWAP. So we were waiting for VWAP for Alibaba. Guess what just came in?
VWAP.
V to the WAP right now. So here we go. Like as it comes in, you get that trade, you take advantage of it. The money comes flying down there, and it's just about being a little conservative, I feel like, but definitely favoring the short. So I'm glad you're short. Oh no,
I'm out now.
You're out now. Okay,
so
so
I came back to my break even, starting to squeeze. So
all right, but that's what it's all about, right? It's about like making sure that you're comfortable with whatever trades you're in, and then small downside risk, right?
Exactly.
Like if the trade's not working out for you, then you just bail.
Exactly, you just bail, you get out. You don't want to hold on to something. I like what Neil says all the time, it's okay to be wrong, but you don't want to stay wrong for long. So you can see that we took a little bit off the top here, guys, but then I said, we're either going to capitulate and break down, or we might get that second leg to the top side. You can see that pullback volume was relatively weak, and that's a sign saying, hey, Joe, be prepared for us to turn around at VWAP. And it's unfortunate that I didn't flip the bias back to the long side, because you can see on the 1 minute time frame that volume starting to pick up, and you can see the strength within the time of sales as well too, guys. So we're not getting any flushes below or at the bid until now, but you can see the consistent flow of at the ask and above the ask, and those are some signs of strength, and that's what I want to be able to identify and want to look for here in INTC. So continue with these strong stocks. If you're looking to go for the long, mentioned 16% on the day, that would be a good entry right around here, but I don't want to chase it. I'm going to wait for another pullback and a test. But one of my things, and you guys know I like to trade this underlying asset, and that's IBIT. And it's unfortunate that we're down again here, Sean, 1.7%, and it doesn't look like it wants to put in any form of bottom. So not a good look as the Qs and the SPY continue to move to the southeast. So let's see what's going on happening now with Adara.
We had too many bids out.
What's happening right now here is the S&P 500 trying to take out pre-market lows, down about 0.77%. The NASDAQ down more than 1% now in the same kind of position. So it seems really weak, despite the fact that we've now had back-to-back two positive, you would think, inflation prints, or at least prints that the market was looking for. PPI, much like CPI, each print here, so the month-over-month, year-over-year, and the core month-over-month and year-over-year, all lower than expected. PPI month-over-month on a core base is actually down 0.1% versus 0.3% growth expected. So market selling off this news nonetheless here. And again, NASDAQ actually down more than 1% of the day. Oracle and Watch, the information reporting that the company is in talks to go in on a TikTok deal. We know that there's a lot of companies in deals on Watch here to potentially keep the company in the United States. TikTok, ahead of this ban, which apparently the suspension of the TikTok ban, or I guess holding of the TikTok ban, that's going to end on April 5th. So we'll have to see if we get a decision on the company before that point. TSLA on Watch as well. This company trying to bounce right now of 234, but this stock has been pretty weak throughout the day. TSLA tried to have a bit of a bounce yesterday with the rest of the market. Now, though, giving up a lot of yesterday's gains. So lots of tickers to be aware of. Intel, of course, on Watch as well. After the company announced after a 3-month period of no CEO that Lip Bhutan will step in as their CEO as of March 18th, 2025. Back to you.
Good look here from my buddy Gorav in the chat. TSLA. So this is the vehicle that we are going to use to trade Tesla. And he's referring to, he said, hey, Joe, I see a bottoming signal here. And I'm like, okay, one thing that we need to correlate here, Sean, is that volume signature and the price action print, hopefully forming it is forming a doji here. So nice look there on the 1 minute Gorav. And that's what the chat's for here. You guys call out names all the time, and we have to take a look at them. But then when you guys are right, it's like, oh, wow, this is what the chat is for, is just multiple eyes, because we can only watch so many names. But when you guys are calling out perfect setups like this, we're going to wait for a test of the low here in Tesla and then possibly take a long, because I do like this volume signature and this bottoming signal here on TSLA. Man, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, we got out of Alibaba. I mean, let's just honestly, that was a pretty, this is such an old meme there, that flossing one. Alibaba down there hits the 200 period. We are now out and flat on that one, and I'm glad we're not flat on Apple, because that is making new lows. I do love that look on Tesla. Tesla's going to be a red name for me, and of course, we'll lose on Tesla a reasonable amount because we were able to get out right there. That is a great sign there. So, again, congratulations to anybody that found that. That is exactly, and I know you just talked about it, so I don't want to harp on it too much, but that is exactly what we look for. That's why I have volume here. I mean, we talked about that little spike right there plus the bottom wick. That's an exhaustion candle 10 times out of 10. So that is definitely a long. If I was on the stock, I would have hammered that 100%. But right now, you're already up $4 from that level. So Tesla, which has been really, a little bit of a problem right there, has definitely recovered a little bit off of that. I would still say we want to short it, but now you got to kind of wait for VWAP, see if that is that bottom, and if it is, run up to VWAP where the sellers will then say, nah, we have to be underneath this thing, and then bring it back to that downside. But hey, man, we're excited about that look. So thank you, everybody in the chat. You said Gorav, I saw Glenn Smith in there as well. So again, thank you for the community. I want to make sure that everybody does like and subscribe to that. Let me check out what our look is here on the stream. So we have, oh shoot, I got to refresh it. So don't come over here yet. We'll refresh that and then get that going and show you guys. Over 1,000 right now, 999 on the likes right now. So you can come over here and just look at that. There it is, 1K we just hit right now. So please guys, everybody hit that and let's go. Before we go over, I know we're going to go to Adair in just a couple seconds. I do want to hear right now, when you just let me when they're ready. She mentioned that Oracle here with TikTok. No real movement on that news. Oracle, I think, is still currently hosting TikTok data anyways. So I kind of as expected there. Obviously, the news would be worse the other way around, that they were losing TikTok. But all right, so Adair is ready. Let's see what she's up to.
Keep an eye here on the markets in general. We know we got a little bit of a bump. Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, making some comments about the stock market. He said that the administration is focused over the medium to long term, so they're not focused, or they're focused on the real economy apparently. So their focus is on the economy and not the market. So he's saying, quote, they're not concerned about a little volatility over the past 3 weeks. They're saying this is just some short-term volatility shakeout. This is not something that Treasury Secretary Bessent is really worried about as of right now, guys. Back to you.
This is nice grab there, man. Right at the bottom.
Yeah, no, but this is not making any sense, man. Baba's not like us. This just keeps on going higher, man. 136, 137, 137.50. Looks like it wants to go higher right now. Alibaba, man, that is a bull right now. And it's going to be, Apple's going to be my number one stock. We've only traded Apple, NVIDIA, and Tesla. Wait a minute, Apple, NVIDIA, Tesla, Baba. We forgot about NVIDIA, actually. We're up on this one, but it's like a latte. We're not doing anything on NVIDIA today, but that was a great, oh my. Did we write down?
What did you write down there?
Tell me what we wrote down for NVIDIA long.
No, NVIDIA long. Let's see what we got here. Ooh.
Come on, my guys.
They're not like us, man.
Okay, here, I'll show it to everybody since you're
114.
Yeah, 114 right there. 114 long on NVIDIA. We wrote down there. But we were nervous, my guy. We got filled at 114.50 and then got out. But there it is on the sticky note, 114 long. The long for NVIDIA, the low of the day, 113.80. But again, easy to cherry pick that, right? It's Obi said this yesterday. You can call anything you want. It's like when we sit here with Neil, he's talking about it's okay to be wrong. It's not good to stay wrong. I don't even, that is true, but how many wrongs can you be? Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Like when you're just putting out loser after loser after loser, it becomes a problem. And that's what I was saying here with NVIDIA is like, if you keep on buying this dip, Joe, and you're wrong on it, then like
that's the issue,
right? Like sometimes we talk about the spidey senses and all that stuff. It's like I got out, like I was long there and got out, just again for a latte, just because it was making us nervous here the way this market was falling off a cliff. So sure, we called that level, and we should have been a little bit more diligent with it and maybe taken it, because what was I thinking? If NVIDIA is going to open up at 117, the market has to crash for it to get to 114. So maybe we should have thought a little bit better than that. Two wrongs do make a right there. No, Pickle Jim says two wrongs do make a right, but no, you're trying to stay right as much as possible. And then when you are wrong, get out of your trade, man. There is no more important management than risk management. And on that note, we do have a stop here at 215.60 for a quarter of our position left on Apple. We just emptied out the clip down here. We only have 5% left, 7.5% left.
On Apple there.
On Apple from the top. So we just got pretty lucky with taking that trade. But man, Alibaba is like,
squeeze.
I wish we would have got overfilled long because that stock is up and away. There it is. SPF takes that long.
Well, I mean, that's what we were saying. These Chinese ADRs are performing significantly better than what the S&P and the NASDAQ are. So look for that continuation in strength. Gorev was looking at the continuation of strength in INTC. And the issue here with Tesla, guys, is that we know that this underlying asset is relatively weak. So it's harder. You see it's not necessarily participating with these pops that we see in the SPY and in the Qs. So it's not too good of a look. I'm going to hold on to this position until we crack the low of that signal that we were referring to earlier. And if we do so, that means there's going to be some potentially more downside in this name. We're already down 5% in Tesla, which is not a good look. Looking for this name to recover. We've already given back those gains from yesterday. So tough look. A nice recovery. If we can get some squeeze type price action here in Tesla, we're gonna aim for the VWAP. But you can see we're slowly curling over, and we can't construct any new highs. We're forming lower highs. We're gonna need to break through this with momentum, and you're going to need to see that buying pressure really step in here on Tesla in order to crack this $8.36 level in TSLLs, Sean. So going to be patient on this one, forming a nice base. Hopefully you can start participating with the market. NVDA now above the volume weighted average price. So we're starting to get this relief rally here in the broader market, my guy.
Damn, Daniel. Great trade there. You got those white Vans?
No, I got.
No, that
I never had the. Did you ever own Vans or anything like that? Same. I was never a Van guy. I was like a DC guy. I don't know if you ever were skateboarding era, but I was like.
I know what you're saying, but I'm neither. I probably had some Vans. I'm not sure.
I know they're large in the lifting community.
You want a poll? You put a poll up there. Oh, there's a poll right now. Okay, here, let's do this together.
Today is for the.
Hold on a second here. Just Apple right now is near lows. We just covered a little bit more there at 215 flat. Okay, Joe, let's see this. Let's see this here. Today is for the
boys.
Well, first of all, two of these are alike. So doves would be bulls and bears would be hawks. But because I went to Wilfrid Laurier University, our name is the Golden Hawks.
The Golden Hawks,
Hawks. Right there as we go short anyways in the market. So bears, right. So bears and hawks should wind up winning this. A lot of people don't understand what doves and hawks are. And of course, when you're talking about the Fed, when they have a more positive outlook, they'll be dovish. It's called as dovish. Nah, I'm busy. So dovish there would be that, and then hawkish would be more looking down, swooping in, on the grabbing those equities there. Sure, Fabian, you can do a short on that. That's no problem. All right, so right here it comes down into the downside right now for Apple, right? And so let's see if we can get a little bit lower here, 214.60, 214.70. We're at the day's low. We were too busy explaining that example there, which many of you already know, I guess, about. But there's Apple. We'll take the day low if we can get it. There it is. We just got that right there at 214.50. So it's a good trade for us on Apple. I'm going to ask Adara, I'm not sure if there's there's anything hit with China or anything right there. I didn't hear anything, but definitely Alibaba goes to the upside there. Let's figure out if JD did something as well, just to see if it's a general China bump a little bit. Yeah, so there goes JD as well off the bottom. FXI, the Chinese ETF. Let's go, Joe. We are now $2 in the money. Shout out to my guy Ozan right now. We're at a day-and-a-half goal, and we don't even have that many shares, so hopefully we're able to hold out hope that there's FXI. So definitely great little look there on China. Look at this VWAP hold there, Joe. We like that trade for sure if you're in it, but it's Apple, man. An Apple a day short, keeps the hopefully the margin call away, because right now we are starting to get a little hawkish on this name. So yeah, really good there. QBTS. Was that a call for Adara, by the way? No, not yet. Okay. So QBTS, we talked about it fading into VWAP. It looks like now it wants to use VWAP as the bottom. But the thing about it is, this is not great action on earnings. Obviously, we're happy with it being up 11%. There's no doubt about that. But right now, it's a little barcode nation. I'm going long QBTS if we take this level out right here. 665, we're going long quantum. We're going to try that. 665 long against 650. Joe, you're still in that TSLL long?
We're still in it.
How's that working?
It's starting to work out here. The thing is, we're hovering around it. I wanted to hold this level around $8.10 in TSLL. And then now, as we sit on top of this range here, guys, that could be a potential add opportunity. So we want to make these winners as big as possible with the overall market continuing to climb and recover here. So a nice look. The thing is, it's not participating as well with this relief rally here. It's still hovering around this range, and it's not looking too good for the ad. I want to see some strength within the time of sales in order to do so and us sit on top of this range. So we're going to have to be a little bit more patient. You can see that we're testing these lows. We're now constructing higher lows, which is a positive signal, but it looks like we might want to break here. Going to add small to this position, but with that being said, guys, that's going to bring our average in and then our stop loss as well too, which is going to put us right at the bottom of this range. So if we decide to chop around a little bit, we're going to need some quick price action in order for this trade to work. So one thing that I do want to note on the book here, guys, it's slightly balanced. I'm going to have to filter out a little bit more size, but it's still relatively balanced. We want to see an imbalance on the bid and ask, so I would want to see more offers on the ask, right? Instead of just this balanced styled book. So we need to keep that in mind. We need to take that into account, because in order for us to break through, we would like to see an imbalance. And here we go. If we can climb higher, what is that next level of resistance that we might run into? One thing to note that is slightly positive is that this selling volume is dwindling. So that's a good sign there, guys. We're now breaking through that zone. Gonna add some small shares here, not too much, as we climb higher and looking for the break of VWAP. That is going to be the goal here on Tesla. So now added to this position. Let's see if we can test in and tap into $8.06. Now sitting above this range. If we got in around 832, that would be significantly better here on TSL, but that's okay. We're starting to recover here in the market. The Qs and the SPY both trading above VWAP. That's a positive signal. Gorev's in this as well. Let's see, is anybody else in some TSLL? Let me know. Gorev, I was going to ask you that question. Do you trade the actual underlying, or do you use a leverage derivative like TSL like myself? Because that way you can put in some more size, and then you get that larger, you get that 2-to-1 kind of ratio as well. So let me know what you guys do. Okay, so Kevin M is in some TSLL as well. Mohan is in some Tesla as well. Both actually right now, so he's in Tesla and TSLL. Okay, getting that triple levered almost at that point. In TSL, so it says top VIOP. Okay, a lot of people in Tesla here. Okay, so Zeke is in from the open, which is quite interesting. Hopefully you're not long from the open and bag holding, but my dog's name was Zeke, if that has any relative instinct. But here we go. Let's go TSL. Yeah, everybody, a lot of longs here in Tesla. Loving it, guys. Hopefully we can rebound. It's good that the market is continuing to rally. These big names, I mention it time and time again, in order for us to continue this topside move, we need those top names to participate and climb higher, and it's looking like we're getting that right now, but running into some resistance, it seems to be the case. But one thing to note that is positive, you can see that volume start to pick up, and that's exactly what we need for this recovery here in Tesla. Oh, whoa.
I didn't know if you needed a water or not.
See, the thing is, I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know if I can.
Here, I didn't know if you needed a water or not.
Oh yeah, this is what we do. Cheers, my guy. Let's go.
Cheers water. I didn't know if you were going to do that with me.
With this service, I don't know if I can head back over there because you know what I mean. It's very hydration nation.
Let's go. I mean, you got a great trade on. We've got Apple going on here. We're cruising. We're really loving trading right now. Wow, that Alibaba is 139.
Okay, okay, so nice score of your Tesla.
Nice refreshing gin.
Yeah.
No, that
vodka.
Okay. No. I gave you vodka. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so right in there, we'll give Sharif tequila.
Yeah.
That white little tequila.
Yeah, the white
So yeah, we'll get going on that one.
Okay.
Okay, no, but just quickly here, we are almost out, man. We talked about having 7%. We got out of a little bit more there. So right now, we're going to get out of half of what we have left once we break 240, which is right now. There it is. So there's a stop out on the 50-period moving average. So keeping our money tight to the chest a little bit right here, right now. So we do have 238 coming into play right now, 238.60. Great call there on Tesla. I hope you're having a good day over there, my guy. 82.2 right now for Bitcoin. Let's have a quick check on IBIT. And by the way, I still have that QBTS. If that breaks 660, we're long. 665, sorry, we're long on QBTS, waiting for that to happen. IBIT finds a bottom, but again, underneath view up, underneath the 200. I'd rather short this play. Although the market's rallying back, there's almost, I mean, yesterday we had like 3 or 4 V shapes like this, right? And now you're just coming right back into, oh gosh. Okay, we are now into QBTS. I wasn't even aware that we were at these levels, but here it goes right now. QBTS, let's fire off the hot dog cannon and see if we can get it going just a little bit. All right, nice move. We just stopped out at 70. We'll wait for some 74s. Let's see if we can get something up there, break a little bit higher. 690 looks like the top, so if you guys know me, I will be getting some out near the top if we're able to do that. So far, so good here. Initiated along on QBTS. We talked about why we like this level, breaking above VWAP, breaking above this little level here. We say, get that garbage out of here. And we see about getting a little bit higher. All right, I'm waiting at 74. I'm just going to cancel that, take a 73 if we're able to get that, cancel the 74, and bang, here it is. It is another one. It is, let's see if it gets a little bit higher right now. It's only a dime, but again, you know, we're trading prop here. We're trading other people's money. We're going to wait to find out what winds up happening with this name. But regardless of how many shares I have, if 10 cents works for you, maybe you want to take that right there at 74. Here it goes, QBTS. Let's go. We're waiting for our next little offer here at 85s. We'll see if that can get going for quantum name here. QBTS, it's D-Wave. It is waving at us. Hi, you should be long. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening there. Our out, and just to put this in right now, if we break below 650, let's just jam out, right? So that will be that trade. $6.48. We will get out of 100p. Offer, enter. Now let's see what winds up happening. We're only out of right now 20% of that trade. So let's see if it gets a little bit higher right now and go over to Adara.
We have some small caps, but also some news with regards to the China pump. I saw this headline. This headline came out a little bit after the pump. Sometimes things disseminate at different rates. But regardless, about a minute or so ago, we did have comments coming through from U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying that he is sure that Donald Trump and Xi of China will engage in talks, quote, at some point. So at some unknown point, apparently, Scott Bessent does believe that there will be talks between Xi and Donald Trump. We heard reports a couple days ago that they're likely to talk in about June. They're likely to have a meeting. So at some point, apparently, it's believed that these two leaders will speak. So keep an eye on FXI for that. Other comments of note here from Scott Bessent included, he actually did talk about the concerns with EU trades. He said he's not really understanding why so many people are concerned about a couple items from 1 or 2 blocks of trade. So that's Scott Bessent's comments. They're kind of saying that's not really a huge deal, or at least not something they're worried about. Let's take a look here at the IWM, which is exactly flat on the day and doing a lot of that zigzag action that Sean mentioned earlier. We're seeing a lot of this V-shaped recovery in these names. We had these last 2 15-minute bars trying to take out that entire push to the downside that we had in the 15-minute bar from 9:45 to 10. So let's see if we can basically go flat on the day on this name, or at least flat from these whipsaw moves. The high of the day around 202.25. In terms of small caps on watch, we have Heidmar HMR. This is one of the ones that Luis Barbados mentioned this morning. It is about a 300,000 share float, relatively new to public trading as well. The earliest Benzinga entry I could find was from earlier this year. Then we have here BON. This is Bone Natural Life, basically announcing after the market closed that its operating subsidiary, Jan App Cambio, has reached a strategic cooperation agreement. So positive news for one of its subsidiaries, sending it to the upside. Then we've got Next Nav here, NN. This one is about a 16% short float. It has been a small cap gapper in the past, and they did have a sales beat reported last night. So this one, much like QBTS, is an earnings day one play. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Adara.
As this administration lost their mind now, former flame of Kourtney Kardashian there, Scott Disick, is now making all of these.
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
He's keeping up with the White House there. Like, this guy's making all these decisions. But no, well, thank you, Adara, for that one. I should not even know who Scott Disick is, but unfortunately I do. Well, I think he was in something I was watching. He had a cameo in something. Was it White Lotus? I don't know. I saw him in something that we were watching. Scott Disick.
He does a pizza review with Dave.
He did?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in one of those. Yeah.
Davey Portnoy?
Yeah, Davey.
You got to get him to go to Batty Alley's there where you went. Oh, what?
He did Batty Alley's.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he did Batty Alley's. When
He did. He did the one on Royal York there that I always forget the name, and it's great. I absolutely love that place. I have to. Oh man,
you've never had Batty Alley's there?
Yeah, one time.
Okay, one time.
Slice,
yeah,
so, yeah. I was going to ask you, what pie did you guys wind up getting there?
We got the pepperoni pie there.
Okay.
But yeah, I would like to go with the straight cheese pie there or the tomato pie, right? So you get a little tomato sauce on the top and everything like that. But
like a little margarita action?
Yeah, a little margarita, exactly.
Big
little margarita
piece of
action.
mozzarella on top there.
That's what I like. I like a nice, taking a
Running Point.
Running Point.
Have you seen that?
No.
It's with Kate Hudson. It's actually really good.
Okay.
So me and the wife are hitting Running Point right now. She owns it's a family that owns a basketball team like the Lakers. They're the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay. No, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw someone at a Lakers game the other day
wearing.
trying
to put it on. I'm like, stop trying to put
Celine
this
or Selena? Selena, okay.
Yeah,
she's Jamaican as well? Or
no, she's like half Indian, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay,
yeah,
sweet.
Indian, yeah.
It's nice. You guys go get good food going
Yeah,
on.
but she likes the curry, potatoes, and everything.
Man, good,
the Indian curry.
Yeah, so
don't mix it up with Jamaican curry.
No, exactly. Yeah, much different there. So you should watch that with her. It's great. Or just in general. I mean, it's a great show.
I like how the family and the one brother, he's a bad guy. Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay, yeah. The one guy's in rehab.
Yeah.
So he was this is not spoiling it, but it's the very first scene, I think. And he has to give the team up, and he winds up giving it to the sister, who's like always been behind the scenes, and it's just fun. So that's where he's from. Scott Disick in Running Point, and now in the White House. Okay, so he's not. All right, so there it is right now. Just a nice little move that we actually got out of half of our QBTS. We saw that it spiked up to 80 there. Our best out is 78. We'll wait for more, but we just wanted to make sure that at least we're playing with house money. And I think when you're trading these names, I know you and Sharif do this often, obviously on the Midday show there, and more Sharif, I think, some of these low float names or at least running names. QBTS is not necessarily a low float name or even really a meme name. I mean, it's been around for a while. It hasn't even moved that crazy over the last little while, but on earnings, I think you gotta sometimes play with that house money. So we'll get out there. We are literally out of half. And did you know that a couple days ago was Mario Day? It was March 10th.
Okay.
Apparently that's Mario. I was looking for some deals. Like Nintendo didn't have any deals. Like, come on. There's a new Mario Kart actually with the new Switch. I don't know. We're not.
It's funny. I was listening to Q107 the other day, and they're like, okay, what is the game that gets everybody's heart rate moving the highest? It was like Call of Duty, something else, and then Mario
because
Kart,
it's so competitive.
Right? It's so competitive. We used to play it on GameCube all the time. And
GameCube, blast from the past. They're doing a new. They're bringing out an HD N64.
Oh, yeah?
That it comes pre-programmed in with
all the games.
Yeah. It's like 250 games, N64. Wicked. That's the goal. I don't know if you've ever played GoldenEye, but that is
GoldenEye was the number one.
That is my number one. We used to ban the little guy Short Round. No, not Short Round. That's from
not
Short Round is from Indiana Jones.
But we got one of these here. Sorry for
next time Raheem's in here, we have a joke about Short Round. Okay, keep going. Sorry about that.
All right, we'll talk Short Round. But guys, we'll take a look at TSLA. We caught the bottom of this trade, looking really good here in this name. I accidentally added right here. This was supposed to be taking some profit, but I'm like, okay, don't panic. We're relatively strong. The market's recovering. NVDA now trading at 117. Katina Man called the bottom at 114.
It's at 117?
It's at 117.50 now. So really good call out there, but this market's starting to rally. This is what we need. positive signs. Nice ad here, multiple ads on this trade. So bottoming signal, we break through this resistance zone, head right back into the area, break through it, momentum steps in, we add here. This is an intentional one, and then we just piece it out. And then I went to take a little bit more off the top, but then I added their shades, and I'm like, hold on, be patient, volume stepping down in this pullback, and then look at it step right back in here, guys, on TSLL. That is a Neo face slapper right there. And then now we're going to take a look at that INTC trade. I haven't looked at it for a while, guys. Ooh, Gorev was in it. I tried the short, but I'm like, ooh, we were holding VWAP really, really tough. We couldn't breach it, and we couldn't open anything below those levels. And then you see that volume start to step in here, guys, to the top side, hit those offers hitting above the ask and at the ask. So really nice look here in INTC, still hovering about 17.3% on the day. So, yeah. Good look there in INTC and Tesla. Coming back to my break even right now, 843 we'll get out of this trade, but that's going to give us some room here, guys. So nice look. I would have liked to participate in INTC again, but I was hyper focused on this TSLL trade. So we'll be out in around these levels. So that's going to be able to give us some breathing room, allow the stock to breathe. And then maybe we'll get an additional ad if there's those bottoming signals on the pullback once again. And that's what we're going to keep an eye out for. Maybe we can recover and head into some of these pre-market lows here, Sean.
Oh, man. I'm trying to figure out, oh no, what have I done? Okay, we're going to put out a little post here because I'm wondering, what have I done? What have I done with this NVIDIA trade here? Because we just tweet this out right here. And again, on our sticky note right here is NVIDIA 114 long. We wrote down here, NVIDIA 114 long. Why? Because it bottomed here yesterday. Hey, let's just see if it holds today. You know, Joe, let's just see if it holds today. Right? You know, and then we'd say here, what have we done? We backed away. We did have it. There's the call right there. 114 comes in and backs right away. But, you know, as you and I always talk about it, on to the next one. And we'll find a better, well, I don't know if I'll find a better trade, but we'll definitely find another one for you right now. Nice, calm, cool, and collected right here today as we continue to trade. Let's look for the top side then on NVIDIA, right? I mean, I know you're talking about your Tesla trade there. So again, broke through yesterday's levels already today of 117. So yeah, that little top wick, what kind of volume did we have up there as we look for that profile as well? Not a huge volume profile. This is not, volume profile is an actual thing, but just looking here, it didn't give us what we were looking for there as an indicator for a blowout top. So we'll wait on that one. Apple comes right back in as well. Sure, we did get out of half of what we had left right there, but look where we just fell right back into again. So let's just manage our positions properly here and make sure to take something out. We can't just punch out at the highs, or not at the highs, but at an out level and not make sure to take, bang, Joe, the low of the day. So we'll props it up right there, Joe. It's been great trading with you one more time here today, and I know you'll be joining me, I guess, tomorrow as well. We'll have a lot of fun. Put up the ones in the chat, man. We really appreciate Joe coming through, so all good right there. Thanks, Joe, for doing exactly that and coming through for us here. As Obi, we didn't really know if he was going away. He let us know that, and you filled in, and we want to thank you for that for sure. So we're going to get some out here at 72, maybe, as it seems like that's been around the high set. Okay, I guess we shouldn't have put that offer there because as we go back into the downside right there. But Apple is really starting to make some money here for us. Even though we just have a small piece, I like where Apple's going now into 214.20s. I'm going to put a bid down there as my water's in the way. We do get that QBTS play, so that is another fill right there on QBTS. So we do get that 72 fill right there, Joe. So we got to have another 5% on that one.
Randy call.
What was Randy doing?
The bang.
The Batman call.
Yeah,
do you need Randy? Randy is just chilling over there.
He's good. He's good.
No, he's just chilling. He's looking up tires.
He's thinking, yeah, we have some tires.
Randy, the Pirellis are on, baby. The Pirellis are on. Let's go. I don't know, man. I didn't take the car for a ride.
Okay, I thought you said, did you go through Randy's guy or you had your own guy?
No, I got my own guy. But Randy, I want to say thank you to Randy for the hookup there as well. No, there is a local, so I had my own local sort of tire guy there, but it took him a couple days to get the tires. So that was the thing. That's why they ordered them. Yeah, they went on Wednesday because they're 255 50/20s. Like it's not as standard. I even went to Costco because I was panicking because You shouldn't be, especially on a bigger car. Like, you don't want to be on that flat for too long.
No.
And I don't know, you obviously know about Toronto and our road situation.
Yeah, I've rocked
littered with potholes.
I've rocked one on Adelaide.
Oh, you rocked one?
Yeah. Like, it's like, doo-doo.
I hate that. Every time
God.
that goes in, I'm like, the suspension.
Like, everything, right? You don't want to blow a tire either.
You guys know that
I don't
in
know.
England they
We
drive on
gotta
the
go.
left.
Maybe we could call
And
Olivia
here we
Chow,
drive on
maybe,
what's
because I
left.
know she was worried about the snow on the sidewalks there. But
Thanks, Fabian.
Not so much.
Apparently, they drive on the other side of the road in London. Where did that come from?
Okay.
And then
Well, I
here
didn't
we
know.
drive on what's left.
Obviously, I did.
What's left? Oh, we drive. I get it. So you said that in England they drive on the left,
Yeah.
and here we drive on what's left.
Oh, okay.
So, like, what's left of the asphalt?
That was a good one there. I mean, it's like the.
Well, the
the
thing is,
Jamaican
we got to
roads.
build more bike lanes.
More bike.
We have to spend less money on fixing the current roads, and we should put more money in bike lanes.
Why don't we just eliminate
That would
the-
solve all of the problems, all of the congestion problems in Toronto.
Yeah, just eliminate the eastbound lanes and just put them as bike lanes.
Yeah, and the Gardiner is being worked on as well. Like,
Yeah.
the only thing that basically feeds through the bottom part of Toronto
Exactly, yeah, I've
it's like
got
it's like the lifeline of Toronto down to 1 or 2 lanes
Down
right
to
now.
2 lanes.
And by the way, here we go, man. Dun, 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 dun. Trying to eat a little bit more healthy. We're not going to go fire hot dogs at people, but we don't necessarily wolfing them back down. Get your glizzies while they're on sale, because right now.
Joey Chestnut.
Yeah. Okay. So
Glizzy.
Yeah,
Glizzy called it.
QBTS right there, up to 680. Man, we're having too much fun here on the day. Apple winner.
Bang.
Now, let's just go over it before we go to Adara. Apple right now, $2 in the money, bang. Alibaba, top P&L name. Apple's my top one, but Alibaba's right there. NVIDIA.
Bang.
I mean, we got the call. We don't have the trade. We actually got out of it. We'll buy a latte with that money. We still are up on it. QBTS, that's a good one there. As right now, we only have a third left, by the way. And then your trade for Tesla, we'll hit the bang on that one. This is the only red name that I have right now. We'll go 4-1 there today, but at least we got in and out of that trade. The reason why we like Tesla, and we're going to go to crypto in just 1 second. We were trying to play it off the low of the day there, and unfortunately, it just came in real quick. We tried to play off 242. Again there, we talked about the 242 level. There it is right there. It looked like it could possibly have been support. Once it wasn't, we got out. The one thing that I got to change up with my game is, if we're going to nail these levels, they're also short levels. So that's the other thing that we have to think about. It's instead of just supporting the long, when the bottom breaks, you just go the other way. And I think that that's one thing that we have to work on. One thing that we've really been proud of has been the addition of Miss Adara. Adara's been absolutely crushing it, especially with the news and especially with all of these segments. So let's go find out more with crypto with Adara at the desk.
Thank you for the kind words there, Sean. We're going to talk here about Bitcoin, which is still in a downtrend on the daily chart. Lower highs, lower lows, finding some support right now, at least temporarily. This is the market cap's going to switch to Bitcoin USD. There we go, finding some support here on that 76,000 level. 2 Binance-related headlines today to be aware of. The first one here, apparently there's a report that the Trump family has discussed taking a stake in the crypto exchange, but there's another body that's already taken a stake in Binance, and that is MGX. This is announced here. An Abu Dhabi-based investment firm called MGX has invested $2 billion in Binance. This is the first institutional placement for Binance in its history. It's also worth noting here, it actually has a connection to Abu Dhabi as well, because Binance CEO Richard Tang was previously the head of the Abu Dhabi Financial Services Regulatory Authority. So not one, but 2 catalysts for Binance to be aware of going forward here. Speaking of Binance, we're going to use this to take a look at how our crypto is doing. Bitcoin relatively flat here, around 82K. Ethereum up 1.5%. Still below that 2,000 level, but hanging on just below 1,900. XRP up nicely, 7.5%. On that 232, BNB up 6%, Tron here up 2.4%, Cardano and Solana both relatively flat here, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, those crypto's been I don't know. I don't know what to think about that Bitcoin reserve announcement, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like it's the right thing, but the only problem is, I was actually thinking about this because it never went through Congress. It's not law or anything like that. If the next administration comes in, they could abolish that.
Exactly.
And they could say, like, I don't know, again, you know, I think the world is changing a little bit and adopting, hopefully, as we heard about Russia apparently having like a couple 100,000 coins, same as China and the US. So what I'm just a little bit worried about here is what if the next administration comes in, and I hope this is not going to be the case, of course, as I'm looking for my Bitcoin chart right here, and that is that if the next administration does eventually get rid of Bitcoin, or sorry, get rid of that BITCOIN, gets rid of that reserve, then what does that mean for crypto? Like, we didn't even really get that huge of a bump. I mean, look, it was not. What is this doing? This is against the U.S. dollar. Hold on a second. So I don't know if you've thought about that at all, but I'm just worried a little bit. Bitcoin. Here we go. Okay, so this is better. No, I don't know what I'm doing here. Let me get a proper Bitcoin chart. But what do you think about that? If I just type in Bitcoin. Coinbase. I don't want. Yeah. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So why is it saying 60% there? Oh, I know why. It's because I have this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, my bad. I had it charting against that ETF that we were talking about. Yeah. So okay, so right in there, we do get a nice bump, right? I mean, that was huge. But then the very next day, man, all the way back down, and we haven't even come really. You know, sure we wicked up to there, but it looks like now we're making a little bit, little lower highs here as we come in, and now we're underneath the 50 period, the 200 period moving average on the daily. So it's kind of like the market. I think if the NASDAQ recovers, we will get Bitcoin. But that was something that, and I'm interested to hear maybe some comments from people in the chat or maybe yours as well. Like, I know you like to hold Bitcoin. That makes me a little nervous. That this can get abolished sort of at any time.
Well, yeah, I agree with you at that point, but that would be 4 years from now if that did come into play. And who knows what can happen to this underlying asset at this point. I was expecting a little bit more of a pop, and what Katina Man was showing us there was that here. I'll pull up a chart of Bitcoin myself. And what Katina Man was referring to is that on the Sunday when Donald tweeted that he's going to start this reserve, it was more of a stockpile. They're just going to use whatever they've accumulated and confiscated over the years. But this is what he was looking at. And for me, I was expecting a little bit more of a reaction here in this underlying asset. And unfortunately, that we didn't get that type of move. You can see this is when he tweeted here, guys, and then we've sold off cents and given back some more. But as long as other countries start to participate and like, hey, we're not necessarily going to use taxpayers' dollars, we're going to use what we have confiscated, sell some assets that we may not be utilizing as much. I know Sharif said there's buildings in California that they're not even using. Sell those, look to acquire some Bitcoin. That could be positive as well. But I was expecting more of a reaction here in Bitcoin, and it's unfortunate that we didn't get it. And time again, I mentioned that we consolidated here for the span of 8 months, and then we went on this nice run, but now we've given back the majority of it after we went into another consolidation phase for 4 months, and it took us a little time to break the bottom here. So not too good of a look in the Bitcoin space, but with this asset comes volatility and a lot of uncertainty. One thing that kind of boggles my mind is that if everybody's hoarding it, then who's selling it? Why does it sell off so rapidly? And why aren't we slowly continuing to appreciate in price? So a lot of head scratching in with this name. It's actually my largest holding, and it will continue to be so because I'm positioned very well in it. But I would like us to continue to climb higher. The day Sharif wasn't here, I was talking with Adara. As we continue to climb lower, I'm like, hey, I might give Sharif an offer on that deal because by his birthday, if we're not at 125, he owes me a couple IBIT shares. So I'm a negotiator. I'm willing to go on the table.
Bring Tariff on that bet?
I'm like, hey, man, if you want to offer me a little something here, I might be willing to accept because it's looking like we're not going to tap into 125 anytime soon. So going to be patient.
Hold on a second. You're the bear in this bet?
Yeah, I'm the bear in this.
Didn't you just say it was your largest holding?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Hey, man, you got to make money some ways if we're depreciated, right?
I like the hedge. I give respect to the hedge.
Like, as much as I am a long-term bull, you can see that on the shorter, from a shorter term, that we are starting to pull back, and it doesn't look like any momentum wants to step into this name. Again, it won't take much if multiple countries, if China were to come out and be like, hey, we're going to start a reserve or anything along those lines, which probably isn't going to happen, or if Russia was going to do it, I don't think they would announce it either. But if you get something along those lines, then this thing can go parabolic. which can be positive for Sharif, but I think in the short term, it's not looking too good here in this name.
Yeah, no, Apple $3 now. Like this Apple trade has just like, obviously we wish we had more shares. That's the one thing that if Adam DeLuz or anybody has any suggestions on how we can hold a little bit longer if there's an indicator or something, I don't know. Maybe it is the RSI down here. Wait till we really start to tap out to know that you're maybe near the bottom. But like all these averages out here, I mean, I'm going to get out 10 times out of 10, I think anyways, for a decent spot when we get into past support. So I don't hate that trade. But right now, we do have eSignal to talk about. They are doing 1 month free. So make sure you do sign up with eSignal. I mean, all the worst you could do is just select that QR code, go figure out what's going on over there with eSignal. Download the platform. If you don't like it, get the heck out of there. But we like it. It does show us all of our scanners. And again, there's a lot of opportunities with scanners out there, but eSignal very reliable. Also, any market, any entitlement right there, right? Go with ICE. They chart everything. Over 500 active symbols at once. That's the thing about it too, right? And so it's like I have many different trackers out here, trade rates, my own little charting, my own little quote board as well. You can connect over 50 plus brokers. We really like it and support eSignal. So we want to give a big shout out there to our partners over at ICE, and you know, we'll continue to support eSignal. It is the platform that I use. Lot of tools, man. It is a very powerful system to the fact where I've been using it for 20 something years and still really have, you know, scratching the surface. Like I use many of the basic things. You can attach an API to it. There's lots of stuff that is available in the eSignal platform. And the most important thing is trade ideas. We like trade ideas. There's no doubt about that, but they only have ETFs. They don't have the CME. So this is the one thing about eSignal is, and you pay to play. You know, you want to add, you know, again, the CME, you want to add the OTC markets, you want to add any of those markets, options, all available options, anything like that, all available at your fingertips. Okay, so before we, you know, go on, we will come back with, you know, again, another 15 minutes of trade before we go over to Sharif and Joe right there on the midday, which should again be another killer. We're going to go to Adara right now for a recap at the big green screen.
Actually, lots of strength coming into this market. Communications, which has been strong as of late, showing some signs of strength again. T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon all to the upside. Utilities, with a notable exception of CEG here, generally pretty strong. Great look for energy minerals. Great look for consumer non-durables. Health technology looking pretty good as well, though iSurge and Eli Lilly a little bit to the downside. Consumer services a bit more mixed, but there are two sectors that are notably weak. One of them is retail trade, Costco, Home Depot, Amazon, all to the downside. The other one is technology services, Meta. Sharply red today. Google red as well. Microsoft joining the club. Netflix. We have CRM, Adobe on day one earnings. There's very little upside to find in technology services. Electronic technology is a little bit more mixed. Of course, Intel on watch in this sector, along with some of the other semiconductors like TSM. After we hear that Lip-Bu Tan will be Intel's new CEO. Back to you.
Yeah, my bad. We didn't look. We didn't. I know you're on Tesla, but we didn't look.
I'm out of Tesla now.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, but you were looking at Tesla, and we sort of. I'm glad. See, this is why it's great to have Adara here. Great to talk about some of the names that are moving around. And I'd slept on Intel. We had been talking about different things. And right now, Apple is $3 in the money. I hate that it's short. Well, I'd rather be $3 in the money long on anything because my whole portfolio is long. So this really does suck for Apple, man. Apple, this would have been a good bet for you and Sharif as well. Many people. Like Apple at 260, Apple at 245. I did not expect Apple to make this kind of a drop. I know a lot of you guys did, so congratulations to all the bears out there, but this is a pretty aggressive move. That move down, I don't know if we wicked 208 or not on that big day, but at the end of it all, this looks to me worth it. I wish we had like this little ruler here. Does this actually give me, no, it doesn't do anything. This is fib lines right there. So I'm gonna get it, it's this one. Does this measure this way? Yes. Okay, is that right? We're only down 7% from the top of Apple. Does that make sense? No, because the top of Apple was 260. So 10% down on 260 is 230. Yeah, okay, so that's wrong. Okay, my bad. We won't use that right there, but down 7.5% it says. So, but anyways, at the
18%.
I wish that worked. I'm gonna see if that, because that'd be cool. I like how you and Obi use that a lot to figure out that, because he used that on the Mag 7 the other day. But I don't know. This is a pretty big move there for Apple. This is now 5. I think this would be a cool infographic as well. Not that, I mean, Adara puts out tons of infographics, but it's just like, Yeah, she's doing one right now on the CEO change. But it's just like, this might be one of the biggest drops over a 4-day period if it continues for Apple. Because just at the beginning of the week, we were at 240. So 240 down to 214, like that right there on the week is over 10%. That's a big move. Now, don't at me. There's probably COVID bottoms that are a little spicier than that. But at the end of the day, like that's a huge move for Apple. Worried about it. We now have we have our 2.5%. Remember, we had 7%. We took a couple covers there. I see what you're saying there, Adam. So thanks for that. Using RSI and stochastic crossovers. I mean, MACDs. Like I'm well versed in all of that. I listened to Sharif's lessons. Again, like it's tough to know what's happening because yesterday we were trying to wait for bigger moves and we got stopped out a couple times. The one thing that everyone wants to know, maybe they don't, but let's just do this real quick before we go back over to Joe. What's for lunch? Okay, so we now get that application sent to us, the application. It's a Word document sent every single Friday. So today is beef again, beef bourguignon, coming through with mashed potatoes, steamed vegetables, and a garlic salad with lemon citrus vinaigrette. So 3 out of 4 days. Get your iron ready, Sharif. You might not need some iron supplements because we now do have beef 3 days in a row. So as many people say, does John Travolta like beef? I don't know. But where's the beef? You know, favorite protein?
Favorite protein? Steak, for sure.
Right, beef.
Beef, yeah. Steak.
Me too.
How about you?
Favorite?
Chicken?
No, beef. Beef would be my favorite. I do like, you know, on that side of things, like a nice little veal cutlet is definitely.
Are you a big California sandwich guy or?
The avocado toast? Avocado, is that?
Well, I don't know. Do they sell avocado toast at?
Well, California, I thought that was like you get the alfalfa sprouts.
Do you get those there? I don't know. I didn't know.
Oh, you're talking about this place, California sandwiches? Yeah, right there on the Queensway. Yeah, I like that, man. I like Burger's Priest is right across the road, and that's one of my favorite burger joints, Burger's Priest.
Burger Priest.
I do like that.
Have you tried Burger Drop? It's a good spot.
Burger what?
Burger Drop.
Drop?
Yeah, Burger.
No, we should drop that one day. Yeah.
Drop
Cabanos there, apparently. Adara likes that one, and that's our guy, Obi, all about that one. But, yeah, least favorite I would think would be pork.
Yeah, I'm not a big pork guy, yeah.
I mean, I was going to say, but I like sausage, but I shouldn't say that. I mean, people are going to. But, yeah, ribs then.
Ribs? You like ribs? Okay,
yeah, nice little pork there.
Ribs, yeah.
Or you can get the beef as well, beef ribs.
I'm a turkey bacon guy over regular bacon. That's a hot take. I understand that.
All right, and whenever we're ready for a dare, we have to end the stream immediately. You're not allowed to say stuff like that on the air here. If Neil was here, you may be hitting the floor.
Well, I mean, but Neil was also going on about mustard.
Yeah, Neil has a little. Yeah, we talked about Neil's issues. They're there. But yeah, he was saying. Grey Poupon or bust for him, wasn't it? Remember, he was like, if the mustard doesn't have seeds in it, he's no way.
He's not about it.
But then he was like, oh, he loves having hot dogs at baseball games. And I'm just like, bro, like a hot dog at a ball game. I mean, if you ask for Grey Poupon, I don't know.
French's mustard there.
That's what I'm saying. That's just that straight French's, that straight yellow, toxic-looking mustard. Like that's the jam. You know what else is great with mustard, man? Pretzels.
You know what's great with mustard? Cheese. I swear.
Dude, you have a lot of hot takes, man. Turkey bacon over real bacon. We do have turkey bacon at the house, man. The wife is definitely all about that for the kids. But I respect that take. The mustard on cheese. You know, at the X a couple years ago, they had mustard flavored ice cream.
That's disgusting.
That's disgusting, but putting a little mustard on a piece of cheese?
You got to try it on some old cheddar.
Okay. I'll try it.
I don't even want to tell you what else.
Does it have to be the Grey Poupon or the normal mustard?
No, the regular. I'm good with French's, to be honest with you. So.
Man, okay, yeah, I'm good with all that stuff too. No, I like mustard. I look.
Big mustard.
Anything mustard on. I'm a fan of mustard there. More mustard than ketchup, actually. Like on burgers or hot dogs or sausage, anything like that. Ketchup's okay, but not my favorite. I like most mustards as well. All right, Adara here talking about stuff related to the market. So why don't we go over there?
Yeah, there we go.
I am, in fact, talking about some stuff related to the market. Really quickly, though, I think it is worth noting, Shangpeng Zhao, or CZ here of Binance, formerly of Binance, said that Binance has no U.S. deal talks with anybody. He thinks that these articles about suggesting that the Trump family is in talks with Binance. He says that they're false, and he thinks they're actually basically made to try to make the President Trump and his family, as well as crypto, look bad, and it's part of a war on crypto. So that's CZ's part. He said that these talks with the Trump family for Binance are non-existent. Let's take a look here at the US dollar, which is now, I guess, trying to be on its second green day, but it is worth noting we had 7 red days before that. US dollar certainly looking a little bit like this head and shoulder type pattern here, but a reversal off those highs just above 110, currently around 103.7. We had PPI here, much like the CPI data we had yesterday. Every aspect of this print came in below expectations. So February, year-over-year PPI 3.2% versus 3.3 expected. Month-over-month, 0.0 versus 0.3 expected. Then for the core number here, PPI 3.4 versus 3.5% year-over-year. Core PPI month-over-month here, negative 0.1% versus positive 0.3% expected. And tomorrow we get the number I would argue is probably the biggest of the week. And that number is actually going to be the consumer sentiment. So why is consumer sentiment so important? We've heard multiple Fed speakers, including Fed Chair Jerome Powell, in recent weeks saying that this is the number they're looking for the most. They want to see how are consumers feeling about inflation. So if we get a higher than expected or lower than expected consumer sentiment print, specifically with regards to inflation expectations, I think that could certainly be something to keep an eye on, especially because Fed members have been saying that is what they're watching above all as of right now. It's also worth noting at 12:20 p.m., Trump will be meeting here with the NATO Secretary General, so just be aware. Comments can always come from that. Here is our newest graphic for TTV Research. Haven't even posted it yet. So Lip-Bu Tan here, I initially had a version of this graphic with the other co-CEOs of Intel. Lip-Bu Tan is the new CEO of Intel, and this is really just a look here of all of the major companies that announced CEO changes in 2024. How has their stock price changed from the announcement of the CEO switch up here? So Boeing down about 20%, Estee Lauder down 30%, Nike 10%, Intel 17% to the downside, but both Peloton and Starbucks up since they announced that the old CEOs would be leaving. This graphic will be on X at TTV Research post-haste. Back to you.
They both, Joe and I, even had to take off the glasses, which of course are not prescription.
No. They help, man, because I have a little bit of astigmatism.
Oh,
yeah,
you need
exactly.
them.
Exactly. So
they are prescription.
So like when I'm looking at the screen, everything is like blue. There's like a blue fuzz around it, but then when I put them on, then it all goes away.
Have you tried these, Neil? Try Neil's glasses over there.
Hey, I can't. I don't want to impersonate Neil here.
You're not impersonating him. You're just trying them on to see if it works.
Here,
out for you. All right. Look, this guy Noah right here.
Oh, that's too hectic there.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
And
if you wear these for too long, I don't know if you ever went to that. I think it's like a Nobleton Arena where it's like orange inside. Have you ever been there?
Is that because that's like their home?
Yeah, I don't know.
Try these yellow ones.
Try these ones, yeah. Well, those are tough there. I think.
These are gunners.
Those are I can. Oh yeah, look at. Ooh, okay.
Ooh, there we go. There we go.
There we go.
These gunners on. Kick him back over here.
I should have been a sunglass model, maybe.
Yeah, man, you should have been a sunglass model. There we go. Don't quit your day job.
Yeah.
Okay, so just quickly here, Noah. This is what I'm trying to do here, and this is where living the life. Honestly, this is my idea of the best situation. Noah's a happy teacher here on spring break. Congratulations, man. Deserving that for sure, man. The teachers. Much respect for all the teachers out there, any educational provider, a lot of respect, man. I think we need to keep going, man. Better teachers, we need better teachers. So what's up to Noah? All right, so there you go. Made 335 total on the Tesla puts. 100 of that closing a position on my phone. Oh, wow, while in the restroom. Okay, we could pass on that one. It's insane now how I make more than this doing than your normal job. So the thing about what I was going to get at there was not just a story about, making money or anything like that. That's where I think trading, understanding the game a little bit, and taking a few shots here and there with reasonable amounts of equity and capital on board. Trading as your number one source of income can be an absolute nightmare. And I think that's why we talk about 98% of all traders are failed traders. And that stat is more based on deposits into accounts and all of that and stats. I mean, literally, even from here, when I was running, going around the world, opening up floors for everybody, I used to say 10 to 20% retention rate on traders that were brought in was quite great and very, very acceptable. So, that means 8 or 9 out of every 10 traders will eventually fail. But that's it. The statistic that I'm looking at is Can we sit there and make reasonable trades, either with options or where we also have our job and we are checking maybe on our breaks or things like that, more of a part-time income situation. All right, Joe, you're out. 10:55. You got to go get set up. We do have a special guest filling in for you in just a couple minutes. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on the market. We did get a little bit of a drop here. Apparently, an aide for Kremlin here is saying that the Putin-Trump call is not expected to happen today. We know this is going to be on watch for geopolitical reasons. So apparently, a talk between Putin and Donald Trump is not expected to take place today, guys. Back to you.
Joe's going to go get ready. We do have the afternoon show getting ready to rock and roll, of course, the midday show with Sharif and Joe, of course, and we are now very, very happy. I used to have like a little emoji gift thing for you, driving the car, Randy. I remember we used to, it was like Randy's automotive segment or something. You did like a little loop around there, and yeah, nor do I. But welcome to the show. I don't know. I mean, is the mic on? The mic is on, and they should be able to hear you there. My guys, so you guys some Drake abs over there? Hold on a second there. There we go. There, your mic is now on. So, all right. Let's go. So Apple today, how's your day been going?
Not bad.
Okay, good. Tesla today, though, all the way to the downside again. We'll talk a little bit about this. Joe was trading this. Tesla had a nice move back up to VWAP, but again, down another 4%. Doesn't seem like it can get out of its way. Every single day, we get, a little green action. Like, if we zoom in here, Randy, it seems like everything's just getting faded. Like, a couple updates, whap. An update right there, whap. An update right there, whoosh, to the downside again. Everything seems to be getting faded over the last little bit.
There's a lot of hype movement here. It's just, it's over traded, I think, to the point where the hype is carrying the downs and the ups and the cycles we're seeing. So, when this whiplash action, when it's going to stop, don't know.
Yeah, I'm not, I just think that at this point, we're not really trading on the company itself. It's to your point there, that there's a lot of sort of background noise with the name. And unfortunately, as Joe has said many times, we're not invested in Tesla for him to work on the U.S. economy or anything like that, right? And so right now, that is a little bit of a downside play there for Tesla. I haven't bought the dip. Maybe we do that at some point there. People asking about QBTS, what happened to that play? Well, it broke through 650, so we get out there. And unfortunately, we had a little bit less than half, but we were still, because you guys know we were getting in and out right there, which was pretty good for 80s. But we're long at 65s there, out at 78, 79, then lost it at 50. So relatively a flat trade. We'll still be up a little bit, but not enough to even buy this guy a coffee. So we'll have to wait to see what winds up happening there with QBTS as well. Their quantum name. You believe in quantum computing? Are we close on that? I know you're a tech guy.
Still think we're a ways away yet for it to be useful in data centers and whatnot. They're getting there. It's been a long haul, but I was looking at solar news last night on the markets for a while. With the tariffs coming in to Chinese supply, we have North American and other makers that are sitting on a huge inventory of solar panels. The market's been weak. It's been weak for over a year, and there's now an oversupply. Will that bring prices up? Probably not, but some of these solar manufacturers are going to be hit a little bit hard, I think, even with the tariffs in place. How long the tariffs will last, nobody knows. It's up to the dawn there, but some interesting solar things going on. There's a lot of solar supply right now.
That's the problem. You never want to be buying stocks that have too much supply.
No, so the oversupply is an issue. I mean, the grids are still rebuilding themselves to be able to do bidirectional supply, and there's other regulatory stuff that has to be overcome. A lot of interesting news on the green energy sector that I was reading up on yesterday. Is it good news?
Who knows?
Not necessarily.
Look at the ETF.
Yeah, it's been a tough go.
Come to the screen here, Fabian. Yeah, so this is a TAN ETF. So this is the solar ETF. Has names like Solar Edge in it, First Solar.
Yeah.
FSLR, I think if you're going to go into the solar space, FSLR is best of breed. So this would be a name here that you would want to look to. But again, with people unable, we're worried about the consumer, and no one's putting panels on their roofs these days. Businesses.
I would like to, but.
Exactly. But what?
Well, I just put a new roof on my house this past fall, so now I can.
Yeah, okay. But why aren't you?
The upfront, I'm still looking into it.
I think it's a little too expensive, no?
The prices have come down so much.
Have they? Okay.
And the regulatory hurdles with electricity generation are getting there. We're not particularly like the U.S. or elsewhere, but there are hurdles. There are, things you have to follow.
You just mentioned the supply chain there coming from China.
Yeah, but prices have come down in the last 5 years amazingly. So
everything's expensive, man. Like we might see a bump in car prices with this the tariffs on steel, imports, exports, aluminum.
Yes.
Aluminium. Yep, exactly. There. Shout out to my friends across the pond. All right, man. Thank you for stepping in for a couple minutes. I believe Joe and Sharif, it looks like they are ready on that side. Randy, maybe we'll have some fun in the afternoon again. If you want to come back on, that would be great. So we'll see. You're off tomorrow?
I am.
I guess so. If we don't see you I'll see you in the afternoon. But if
maybe
people
I'll call in or something. I don't know.
Come on, man. Take a break. We'd love for you to do that. You're welcome to do that, of course, if you wanted to. So we want to say a big shout out to everybody watching. Thank you for watching the morning show. Thank you, Randy, for coming through. Again, big shout out to Joe. You're about to see him and Sharif. Thank you to Ramin. Thank you to Fabian. Thank you to Adara back there and Brendo as well. And you're about to see Sharif and Joe here kill it in the
boys in white.
Kill on the Midday Madness show. Thank you, Randy, for coming through again, and thank you for the 5-star service as you always do provide it. So, all right, that's enough from us. We're blabbing on now. We're going back over to the left on the Midday. Thanks, everybody. See you at 2 p.m.
See ya.
Boom! What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade during the